Welcome into Hand Raise, guys. I'm Neal McCready. Chase Parham will be with me here in just a moment. We kind of racing around with our heads cut off a little bit right now. Chase is on the Ole Miss Zoom call. He's in another room back here so that he could do that. I know he'd already heard from Lane Kiffin. I heard Mack Corral on that call as well. Ole Miss wins 42-41 in overtime. The Rebels go to Lexington, fall down 2 touchdowns, come racing back, take a 35-28 lead. Kentucky came back in the final minutes to tie that game. I got to clean up screens. They came back and tied the game, 35-35. It went to overtime. Kentucky scored first and missed an extra point, something Ole Miss fans can relate to. Proof that the Lane Kiffin tenure is different. Kentucky misses the extra point. Ole Miss gets the ball back. Scores on a touchdown. Luke Logan makes the extra point. Yeah, I know, Luke. I took it down. Makes the extra point and wins 42-41. I'm going to get Jeffrey Wright on with me for a minute. We'll talk some football. We'll come back and watching Mississippi State and Arkansas here. We'll come back and take your calls a little later. We'll hear from Blake Kokenauer at Blue Delta Jeans. We'll have our bourbon of the day brought to you by our friend Neal Forbes. And it's Old Elk. It's aged 6 years. There it is. That's the bourbon of the day. I suspect we will get into that here in just a little bit. So give me a moment. I'm going to go to the Bear With Me sign. Everybody gets a kick out of that, and then I'm going to get Jeffrey on, and I'll be back, and we'll talk some football. So hang tight 1 second. I'll be right back with you.
Hey guys, I'm ready when y'all are.
All right, so we got Jeffrey Wright here. I'm going to add him. There he is. I'm going to take Chase's away, and there's Jeffrey Wright. Although it says I'll just get rid of the overlay here. I need to create a new overlay. That's all right. Let's see. How do I do that? First of all, we get started while I'm figuring all this out. Hide all scene overlays. There it goes. Ole Miss wins 42-41. What were your general thoughts? And just an incredible football game. I think we thought it would be competitive. I think we thought it would be entertaining, and it was.
Yeah, I really thought, in general, like I'm looking at I took some notes on this one. No turnovers. They only had 5 penalties. They go 5 of 6 in the red zone. The 1 touchdown gets called back, but that also set up the other touchdown. So really, you look at it, 5 touchdowns and 6 possessions in the red zone. That's pretty good. You look at their explosive play rate, 21%. They had 14 explosive plays. They've now had 14 in both games. And really what I kind of thought it boiled down to is they did not play perfectly, but they did not make the big mistake today. Like, you think about it, no turnovers. They don't have the play where, have a start A.J. Jones or whatever, Rose, where he does the deuces. He did the Tyreek Hill on the first play and gets caught from behind, and then he ends up fumbling at the goal line. You didn't see any of that from Ole Miss. And, in the end, the way I felt like about that game is I felt like Kentucky's roster was probably better, but I thought Ole Miss played better and deserved to win the game. And in the end, I think that kind of, I'm not saying that they deserve to have a kid miss an extra point, but just kind of the way the game went, I felt like as soon as Kentucky kind of gave Ole Miss an opportunity, they go down 14. Like, you think about the way the first half ends and the second half starts. Like, typically that's when you see a team score right before the half and then score right at the start of the half. That's what Clemson loves to do. Like, they talk about that final 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4, the middle eight's what they call it. when you see a team that does what Kentucky did, a lot of times it's kind of a knockout punch. But Ole Miss got right back up. They scored right that next possession. They actually forced a 3-and-out the next possession. They score, boom, and you could tell it knocked Kentucky kind of on their heels. And I thought Ole Miss did a great job all night of every time that they had an opportunity to kind of put pressure, force the issue. I really thought they did that.
Yeah, I did too. I want to start with Matt Corral for a minute. He got beat up a lot over the last year. There was all this talk about whether there'd be a quarterback controversy and all that stuff. Jeffrey, there's no quarterback controversy to be had. He was just outstanding.
No, and I said last week, it was when you weren't on, and then some people on the message board took offense to it. I said he didn't play that good, meaning he didn't do anything that was special last week. This week, I thought he was much better. You look at it, look at how much more they used the whole field. Look at how much more often they were emptying the backfield and saying, okay, we trust you to make plays. Like, they clearly gave him much more reign today. We didn't see as much, rolling out, trying to make it easy on him. And I thought he was much, much more decisive. I thought even when he decided to take off and run, like, I didn't think it was like at the last minute. I think it was when he realized, not there, boom, let's go. And, he's gone from last year, and again, as you pointed out consistently, he was a redshirt freshman in that Memphis game. But, Neal, that first half against Memphis was one of the worst halves of quarterback play I've ever seen in the SEC. I mean, he was that bad. And you look at what he is now, I mean, it's unbelievable. It almost goes to show, like, I think Ole Miss made a pretty good hire. I think they went from having a distinct coaching disadvantage to now they have a distinct coaching advantage.
Oh, I think so too. He's made it fun. I know people out there wonder what the hell's going on. I'm having some technical issues with the cameras. Just hang tight. Just listen. We're gonna get it right. All good. I thought for the second week in a row, down 14 points to come back and do what they did spoke volumes about where this team is, where the program is already. I've got a column that I got to publish because I'm looking for a photo first in a minute. Part of the problem with my computer is I've got too many things on. Probably needed an extra 10 minutes. But down 14, they came racing back. And I hate to keep beating up on previous staffs, but 2 years ago they don't do that. That doesn't happen.
No, you know what? I don't even hate to beat up on a previous staff. Like, in the end, that's Ole Miss made the decision to hire Matt Luke. They did not have to hire Matt Luke. You can make the argument it worked out for them in the end if they don't get Matt Luke to kind of pay the, as we've talked about, pay off the credit card bill that Hugh Freeze left them. Maybe they're not in a position where they can get Lane Kiffin. But, look at how Rich Rodriguez, who does have a ton of, he has a ton of body of work, an evidence of body of work of being a productive offensive coordinator. You bring him in to run his offense. He ran his offense. You bring Lane Kiffin in, and this doesn't look, this offense doesn't look exactly like it looked at FAU. This doesn't look exactly like it did at USC. This doesn't look like it did at Alabama, because in the end, he is very good at figuring out, okay, what are my guys? Like, who are my playmakers? What do I have to do? How can I get them the ball? And yet again, Neal, let's take a look at just that final touchdown play. When was the last time we saw someone that went in motion, went back and forth, trying to get an easy release so that you can have a good goal line play and a good a nice target to throw through? Like, I can't remember the last time I've seen something like that at Ole Miss.
I know people are wondering what the hell's going on, Jeffrey. I appreciate you helping us through this. I'm trying to get my camera back. People can see you now, but they can't see me, and that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Like, in the end, like, I understand what you're saying. You don't want to harp on the old staffs, but in the end, like, Ole Miss made those hires, and that was the norm. Like, that's all I kept thinking about. Imagine if you were someone out there today that really thinks, Kiffin's bad for the program and that the way he's going about doing this job is bad. Like, I was just imagining, like, it must really suck to be that person, because that is the most fun Ole Miss team I've seen in 5 years. I don't even know how good they are.
Yeah, I don't know how good they are either, Jeffrey. Just leave him there for a minute. We'll figure it out.
They're not bad.
For people that are wondering, no, I've had Tyler. Everybody's making jokes. I'm glad. It's frustrating. We've lost my camera, so the main camera is not here. We can find all the other cameras, but we can't find mine. So right now, we're just going to leave Jeffrey up while we try to figure it out. I don't know how good they are either. I can tell you this from my column: this is going to be his worst team, because recruits are going to love this. Recruits are going to eat this up. They don't lose much off this team offensively next year. Frankly, you don't necessarily lose anything because everybody can come back. But kids are going to love this. They're going to be able to get transfer kids who want to come in and play. They're going to be able to do a lot of different things that accentuate the program quickly. I mean, they're only going to take steps up. That's where they go from here. The truth is, Ryan Brown tweeted this. It's the lead to my column. If I can get it up, the lead to my column is Ole Miss football's fun again. It's exciting again. He's made them relevant in 2 games. A loss to
games without a spring.
A loss to a national title contender and a win at Kentucky. He's made them
everything working against him at the beginning of his. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't. He couldn't do the promo circuit. He couldn't do all the things that being Lane Kiffin offers him the opportunity to do. And, I'm sure it wasn't easy. It's kind of like what we talked about when they made this hire. Keith Carter, everyone involved, that, Keith Carter had to fire a friend. I'm sure that wasn't a fun experience, and I'm sure that wasn't something that he was maybe hoping to have to do. And I'm sure it wasn't easy to get everyone on board to make this hire, but good God, if you're Keith Carter, I'm sure right now you're like, thank God I did. I think probably for Keith Carter, probably the only thing that you're upset about is, God, I wish I could be selling more tickets right now.
Oh, they'll sell the tickets. You're right. I mean, they would. Can you imagine what next week would be at Vaught-Hemingway?
Unbelievable.
It would be.
Think about this, Neal. Auburn played Kentucky last week. Auburn didn't move the football like that on Kentucky.
Oh, no. This is an elite offense. It's an elite offense already. It's a bad defense, and let's touch on that while we have a moment.
Yeah. Here was what I had written down. So you tell me, you tell me what you think. Since I've watched DJ Durkin, he has always consistently been a competent defensive coordinator. So I'm operating with that assumption. It looks like to me that they almost get outflanked at the start. And I think what is happening is, they're slow. Like I think that's just the reality of it. They're small and they're slow. And so you kind of look at that last couple of Kentucky drives. Basically, Kentucky ran, honestly, Neal, they ran a set that MUS has been running. They put 4 receivers on one side and 1 to the other, and they just run to the other side because it's one-on-one, and you can't get there, and they just abuse them. But I think we're operating with the assumption that we understand that they're limited. I don't know what the answer is other than maybe you start aligning them, understanding my guys are slow. They're going to get beat at the point of attack. Maybe you start spreading them out a little bit, and maybe you have you kind of try to funnel everything into the middle, but that can get gashed easily too. I mean, in the end, the answer to their defense is Jimmy's and Joe's.
Yeah, you got to go out and get players. I think what's got to be encouraging right now, we were talking about this a few minutes ago, is that realistically this team can't beat Alabama, but maybe realistically nobody in the league can.
From what I saw today, I think my Bama takeaway would be is Bama's better than everyone else, at least in the West. And the guys that we kind of thought were the bottom of the league, they're not as good. And the guys like the 2, 3, and 4, what we kind of thought were 2, 3, and 4 in some order coming into the season, they're worse than we thought. Like, I think next week is the only game that Ole Miss doesn't have a realistic shot in.
I do too. So you come back and you get Arkansas the next week. Arkansas right now 7-7, 18 seconds left to go in Starkville. That game on SEC Network alternate channel. Then after that, you get Auburn at home. Who knows what attendance will be like by then? Maybe miracles will be happening. Then you get I think it's a break. You get Vandy.
Yeah, no, it's 10-10 is Bama. The 17th is Arkansas. The 24th is Auburn. Then you get Vandy
on Halloween, and then a break, and then you get Carolina.
Yeah,
and then you get Texas A&M. Look, I can't believe I'm saying this because I went into the season thinking 3 to 4 wins was what was realistic. And look, defensively they're bad enough to lose multiple games. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, when I say that after next week they can beat anyone, I'm not saying I'm picking them to beat them, but from what I've seen in this league, like, they'll obviously be underdogs against Auburn. They'll be favored against Arkansas. They'll be favored against Vandy. I don't know about South Carolina. South Carolina feels toss-uppy. Wouldn't you agree?
It does. No idea what is happening with this computer.
They'll be small underdogs against A&M, and then State. I don't know. I feel like State's going to be toss-uppy, and then there'll be a slight underdog at LSU. But they're not going to. I think we're done seeing them being 3-score underdogs this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's only one game left that they have a chance to get.
After next week.
Yeah, only one game left, and that's next week where they have a chance to get blown out. And if listen, here's the reality. In season 0 for this guy, that's remarkable. They're about to start getting a lot of pub. They're going to be able to recruit a lot of different things.
And it's where
Chase is in here trying to fix with our.
I understand the idea of let's not bag. But in the end, like, you have to have something to compare it to. I noticed this when you posted a video like of what the school released from like the first practice, and it was like a 3-minute video. And what stood out to me is you watch that video and you go, oh, like, that looks like a football team. Like, that looks like a coaching staff. Like, that looks like even Freeze, like, those practices were wildly unorganized. Like, they didn't have good coaches. And then you go to Luke. Like, it was not an SEC coaching staff. They got an SEC coaching staff right now, Neal. And look at, we normally think like, oh man, to turn it around, it's a 3-year project. He has taken them from absolute low in terms of interest, excitement, and it literally took him 2 weeks to make this one of the most fun teams that we can remember.
Okay, just so you know, Jeffrey, the computer is not reading my camera at all, so we're contemplating whether to do just a complete reboot here, which is not what we want to do with 429 people in the stream.
Hey, I'm a bachelor tonight, so.
What do you suggest, Chase? Here, I can put you up. Probably what we.
Who took Vandy in the points? Did anyone?
Yeah.
Ooh, Rose.
I'm tempted to ask you guys in the stream for a quick reaction here. I don't know what y'all kind of want to do. Y'all want us to fix it and reboot, or just keep rolling like this? Yeah, they're gonna walk if we reboot. I think. I don't know. Who knows? It's very frustrating. But the computer's not. The computer's not reading the camera.
You can always send out the link again.
All right, hang tight with us for a second, y'all. This is frustrating.
This is a big win. I think you're going to have excitement on your hands. If you send out the link again, I think you'll be good.
I'm okay. You're going to have to help me get this untangled enough to get it here.
My wife's telling me to shut the curtains in the chat, so I got to do that.
All right. Sorry, everybody. I don't think this is user error. I think this is computer error.
That's bold going out on a limb there, Neal.
Well, it's really frustrating, but trying not to totally bum me out here.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. This is a workaround.
Yeah,
It'll work for now. It's not the end of the world.
Hey, this would be different if they were coming in for blood. Everybody's drinking right now. Everybody's happy. It's a good night to be a
All
rebel.
right, let's see if I can figure it out. Let's see. Everybody just hang tight a minute. It's going to be a little goofy, but...
Touche, Jeffrey. Neal and Chase work for rivals. They're used to things crashing on big days.
Hey-o.
Good point.
Was that 14? What year was that?
It happened twice. It did it 2 out of 3 years.
This is so frustrating.
I remember one year when the second time it happened, I think Neal and all the other publishers got assurance. This will not crash. We promise.
Got you only for a minute, Chase. I've got all 3 cameras working. It's a matter of now getting it all here.
Okay.
Jeffrey's background is that he's on Skype. That's the deal. And so you lose a generation here. OEP2 with guest. Let's try that. All right, let me add you and add Jeffrey. Now, what the hell is it doing that for? Isn't that crazy? It's just nuts, man.
It's worked every time too. It's been seamless since we started this. I mean, that son of a gun has been going great.
Yeah, and the way this does, it's so, God almighty. Let's see this. Try this real quick. The whole thing is screwed up, man. I mean, Chase, I don't really know what to do. Honestly, I'm at a loss at this point. I'm gonna put it on you for a minute. You talk to Jeffrey. He can hear you, and I'm gonna go try to figure something out.
Okay. From your side, I mean, you want me to look at it or what? Okay. All right. I don't know. I guess Jeffrey and you and I are talking. Let's see. What was the topic? I'm just coming in. I was getting dressed. I was getting Blue Deltas. We talked to Lane Kiffin and Matt Corral and Momo Sonogo. I do love this part. So Kiffin says, he said it on the thing too. Somebody heard from the SEC Network. Matt had to go in, get a shot in the fourth quarter, asked Matt about it, and Matt said he just had to go to the bathroom. He mentioned nothing about a shot at all. Just said, no, just bathroom. So he's learning quickly to tell the media nothing. So we have that going on in the day.
Yep.
Lane was asked what kind of win it was, and it's kind of like that perfect one because you're getting all this excitement and whatever. And I mean, you and Neal may have discussed this. I don't know what you've been talking about, but there's still so many ways they can be better that you're like, hey, you get the win and you still will show recruits 1,000 different things through this video. I mean, this was not some seamless victory they had going on today.
No, what I told Neal is when I watched that game, they did not play perfectly. I mean, I think that's obvious. But you look at it and you look at why they won the football game. In the end, they won the football game because they never made the critical mistake. Now, the other thing that's great for Lane is he's got a fun team that is fun to watch, and you can see that they have glaring holes, particularly on the defensive side. And so it's really easy to do the strategy that he wants to do, which is, hey, man, you come here, that ain't the problem anymore. And so it really is best of both worlds. But really what it boils down to is, I told Neal this, and I get not wanting to bag on the previous staff, but in the end, like you look at how it took him 2 games to make this team fun. They didn't turn over some massive roster. They didn't you looked at the preseason videos, they have an SEC caliber staff. It's amazing. And in the end, hats off to everyone at Ole Miss that made the difficult choice and probably had to deal with a lot of uncomfortableness. But this is what you this is why he did it. Like, you know, even the fun times and freeze, that wasn't an SEC staff. You know, now you're seeing what it looks like with an SEC staff, a competent head coach. I mean, really, I was telling him this, like, other than last week or next week, I beg your pardon, against Alabama, is there another game that they could have a coaching advantage in every single game from then on?
What is possible with this team in this season? What do you think?
Well, I thought the games came down to, next week they're going to lose. And I thought the season was going to come down to what they did against Arkansas, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Mississippi State, and then Kentucky, as we were talking about today. Now, I think Auburn is more winnable than I expected. I think A&M is more winnable than I expected. And LSU is more winnable than I expected. So after next week, I don't see a game that they're going to be a 3-score underdog in from now on. And, they also have the advantage right now that we've kind of been discussing. Like, for the most part, they're staying pretty healthy. How long is that the case? I don't know. I mean, to me, I think anything, if you can get to 5 wins, I thought at the beginning of the year, if they could get to 5-5, that was a hell of a job. Now I think there's an outside shot they could get 6 of them. They could finish with a winning record, which I think I would not have. I would have thought something would have to have gone wrong in the league, or hey, they caught every single break. Maybe they got a couple of games against COVID teams, but
sure.
I think now that they can, I think there's a very realistic chance they could win 6 games.
Well, it's out, as that Neal and I were talking about too. There's kind of a little more than midway point that's so interesting that if they can just win the games they're supposed to, and you get to that 4-3 spot, that really opens some stuff up for you, because then you close, A&M, State, LSU. I don't know how many of those you're going to get, but you could put yourself in a really good position without doing anything crazy, simply beating Arkansas, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt at that point.
I mean, you look at, this was kind of a swing game. Like, Kentucky's 0-2, and I think that's actually a pretty good football team. Like, you look at what Ole Miss did against them offensively versus what Auburn did against them offensively. Now, there's a little bit of a different defensive effort, but nonetheless, that's a really solid football team. And, they went there, and to me, like, that's kind of like a swing game. When we look at the end of the season and why did a team maybe go, in a typical season, why did a team go 8-4 and why did one go 6-6? It's usually one of these kind of games. And I thought, to me, the biggest difference was when they had an opportunity and Kentucky kind of started getting a little shaky, a little on their heels. I thought they did a great job of forcing the issue. They stayed aggressive. They stayed fast, and they just kept coming at them that whole second half. And while it's borderline pathetic to literally go an entire half of football and not have a tackle for loss or a sack, if you look at the second half, they drew up a couple of pressures. Like, they didn't make a ton of plays on defense, but they got into some situations where they would force a third down, and they didn't say, okay, we're going to sit back. Like, they tried to go make the play. And ironically, a couple of the times that, I think back, like, there was the tight end drag route that Kentucky ran, like, on 3rd and 10. It's because, like, they sat back and tried to play coverage. But when they tried to go after him and get home, like, they made enough plays. And, to me, like, that was kind of what turned the entire game. And, you don't miss an extra point. It helps.
You're having computer problems when it won't even let you download an AP photo because it says it's too big.
Too big.
It says it's too big. So it's all a computer issue right now.
Picked a
Are
good
we on
day
the new
for
one?
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare. And I think I just completely lost my story too. So.
Did you really?
Yeah. I'm having a day.
I need that clock to run in Colorado Springs, by the way, boys.
What we got going on there?
I got under 46, under 46 and a half.
What's the
We're
score?
at 26, I think.
What is it now?
It's at 26 right now, but good thing we're running outside the pocket. It was 3rd and 3, and there's nothing like watching an option quarterback bail on a pocket. So we will be punting the football, which is great to see.
Yeah, I just lost my story.
Oh, my God. Happy Saturday.
Well, you said you wanted one to win.
Neal, you're not a writer anymore. You're not a columnist. You're an entrepreneurial podcaster. You're a webcaster. Like, you're not a columnist anymore.
Is Mingo the number 2 target moving forward? Was that enough today to go ahead and declare him as the next guy?
I believe it was you said it last week, right? So I was telling Neal I took some notes. I'll go over some of the notes I had. And you all give me your reaction while Neal, and try not to let. We need Neal in our live. Don't let him kill himself.
Sure.
It's a thought at this moment.
That
these files exceed 15 MB and will not upload. You ever heard that before with AP?
Your computer?
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Wait, why is a AP photo 15 megabytes?
I don't know.
Did you download every file?
No, I downloaded one picture of Lane Kiffin.
I have Kiffin and Corral in the admin.
I can't find them. They're not at the top.
Okay, hold on.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my story in admin.
Okay.
And just throw a photo on the top of it. It
Sure.
doesn't look right, but I think I found it. So.
Okay. So go ahead, Jeffrey. Sorry.
Yeah. I love feeding that tight end. You can tell when Kiffin's calling plays because he sets up 84 and makes it look easy for him. When Mingo is the threat that he is on the outside, it just opened up the entire field so much more. And that's I think you're right. I think that's who they have to have as their second guy. And man, I get it. It's probably I'm sure it's a situation that it's easier said than done. But man, I'm not being like critical for the sense of like, oh my gosh, but their first 4 drives, touchdown, punt, but that punt was after they had terrible field. They forced the turnover, and then they get the ball at the 2. So like that basically all that happened was they delayed the score, but they stayed on script. Then they run the possession trying to kind of work in Plumlee, and it was another meh possession. And then the next time they ran their offense, it was touchdown. Like I'm not quite there on that one.
One thing that Kiffin did say I thought was kind of interesting was that he thought the call was good on the option outside. He said there was a blocking error that he was frustrated by. He said that he was he thought that was going to lose the game there on the call, but he said that actually the play call was fine from the standpoint if had it been executed correctly. So just one thing there. He actually did not want the play back. He just wanted the execution back.
Yeah, I know what he's saying because like if you look at the start, they have the advantage. Like it's one defender. It's one defender against Corral, and was it Connor at that point? I can't remember who was the tailback.
It was Ely.
Yeah, so it's Ely. So it's and Corral's fairly fast. I just how I've never changed my tune. I hate speed option to the short side no matter what, because even though you think you have the advantage, when you're going to the short side, the sideline's a defender. Like I hate speed option. I think can't stand it. But I also thought I didn't think there was enough to overturn the Connor call, but whatever.
Well, there wasn't.
Like to me, like those kind of washed out because while I get what Kiffin was saying, because of that field position, it ended up just kind of taking some time off the clock. But Ole Miss ended up getting the ball back in really good field position and scoring anyway. Like
yeah,
it was very similar to me. Like that
got washed. That got washed out.
Yeah, it got washed out just like the first fumble that Kentucky had on when they tried to run, the Wildcat or whatever.
Right.
Both of those just kind of got washed out.
What else you seeing around the league today?
Turns out if you don't play press man coverage against the air raid and you just kind of make them have to work it down the field, it turns out that it can slow down the air raid, especially if like KJ Costello was not what he showed last week. I can tell you that, having watched Stanford play. Kellen Mond is still Kellen Mond. That's good to see. Never believed in that since day one, so excited to see that. I think Tennessee's a really solid football team.
They are. Solid's a good word. They're fine. Yeah, they're good.
They're a really solid football team. They kind of stalled out at the end, but I looked it up from last week's game, this week's game. At one point through the first 19 possessions that Florida had, they had 15 scores and 11 touchdowns. That'll probably get the job done. What else we got? Arkansas on another level is kind of showing, like, I know Sam Pittman's not experienced as a head coach, but he brought in a really good staff.
You're seeing that Barry Odom's a really good defensive coordinator, and he always has been. He might not be a good head coach, but he's always been a really good coordinator.
And Kendall Briles runs a good system, and you're seeing that too. Like, the bottom of the league, I feel like the bottom of the West had significant upgrades in coaching, and we're starting to see that. And I think it's interesting to think, or to kind of examine how the West will look the next 5 years. I thought for a while, I thought there were some bad coaches in the West for a while. There's now some real good coaches, and so I'm wondering if Gus is going to have to do some adjusting.
Yeah, they're in trouble right now in Georgia, right?
Yeah, because it's exactly like it was last. I mean, remember that Auburn-Georgia game last year? Like, Georgia dirties the pocket, and Nix, if he can't get outside the pocket to throw, like, he's just not that good.
Proof that God doesn't love me. Even the rivals, even our site's down right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, rebelgrove.com's down right now.
I mean, in some ways, it's kind of funny.
It's a good thing you got a YouTube page.
Yeah, might as well come all hang out.
Because there's nothing there.
You just trying to drive traffic to your podcast.
You're right. It's gateway timing out.
To Ole Miss's credit, they've got some other stuff that they're sending to us, and so
the front page is up.
Yeah, and I'm trying to replace. What tipped me off was I was trying to change the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's one of those nights. Fine. It is what it is. Hey. We're here.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. You bailed us out more than ever before. I owe you multiple drinks after this.
All right, I haven't had one tonight, so I'm going to go do that.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That's Jeffrey Wright, kind enough to chaos. Appreciate all of you in the stream. Crazy. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's been.
Isn't that weird? It's so strange. It's just a. Part of me wonders if it's a Skype thing.
Really? Why would it be a Skype thing?
I don't know. Everybody, hang tight. I'm going to check one thing while we're right here. Yeah, I've got the 504 gateway error too. Let's see. I'm going to check something real quick. Main 2. And see what happens. Yeah, see, it does not. It just does not pick up my camera.
No, the camera is not working whatsoever in your computer. It is a computer error
that would have to be rebooted.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll just go back to here. Yeah, you're right. Just doesn't. Now I can do this. The problem with that page, never mind. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let it be. Weird as hell. And if you do that, it just completely goes away. We'll add here, and we'll add here, and we'll just go like here for a little while. It is what it is. I mean, I could reboot, but we're at so many people, and that would take, I don't know, it would take 20 minutes probably.
It would be a 15 to 20 minute.
Yeah, and I hate to do that.
Completely get everything back up and all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
all right. Well, here's what we can do. I can pull up. The problem is it's so hard to find Skype here, but I can do it. Let's see. We can take calls if you want to take them.
I need to call Blake.
Oh, we need to call Blake. Yep. Okay. And we got to show you. Well, they can understand
because we're using the camera now. So
because they had problems this week too.
Yeah.
I know everybody's like, it's good. It's just incredibly frustrating. I'm just. No, I did not see Rovel's tweet. Yeah, a lot of people are saying reboot, but other people are saying roll with it. I'm just frustrated. That's all. No big deal. I'll take this call. I got to. Hey, caller, who's this?
Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
How are you guys doing?
Okay.
It depends what you're talking about,
Yeah.
frankly.
This is Ben, long-time listener, first-time caller. I just wanted to ask a question. I'll let y'all guys talk about it. Who do y'all think better now after 2 games, 1.5 games from Mississippi State, KJ Costello or Corral? Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough of Costello to judge him, but it's hard for me to believe that anybody's playing better than Corral right now. Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, it's completely fair. I mean, you look at Matt today. I mean, those final numbers: 24 of 29 for 320 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, but I haven't. I know Costello played really well in Baton Rouge, and they're midway through the second quarter here right now. There's no way for me to. It would not be fair to KJ at this point to make that comparison, but it's hard for me to believe that anybody's playing better than Matt Corral over 2 games. Matt was terrific against Florida too. He was great today.
Lane did say he was better today than last week. He said last week guys were running more free and guys were wide open versus today him fitting the ball through a lot more windows and throwing tighter passes into coverage today. That was one of Kiffin's main things.
I will say this, watching Arkansas for the second week in a row, we've been flipping in here a little bit. I really haven't watched much. They are far better coached than they were a year ago.
Oh.
I mean,
look, they're not good, but there's some energy around the program a little bit. Yeah.
There's some energy and there's some schematics that make some sense for them. And they just scored another touchdown. They have the lead in Starkville right now.
Ooh.
I wonder how many times they had a lead last year in the SEC.
Not many.
Was there any times?
I mean, they might have scored first at some point.
So Arkansas up 13-7 pending the PAT, and Auburn and Georgia, they're on a commercial. I'm not sure what they're doing. So we can take the calls. You want to call Blake and just talk real quick?
Sure.
Let me see. Got to find that number. Ole Miss says there are some interviews that are coming.
Yeah, I mean, I've got notes on all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a call coming in. I'll take it real quick. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's Cole. What's up, guys?
What's up, Cole?
Hey, I texted Chase this earlier. This is literally the most excited I've been about Ole Miss football since Shea Patterson came in versus Tampa. Like when you thought, like, hey, there's a new way, something's going to happen. This was kind of a turning point for fans. Like there was excitement. We have a new coaching staff. A lot of things. There's a whole lot of bad, but there's some excitement going on, and it's a good feeling.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It has to be a good feeling. I mean, this is 2 games in a row that have been fun.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time Ole Miss played 2 games in a row that were fun? Seriously.
Oh, I mean, it's been 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, this is they played a national title contender and played them well. Florida beat them, and Florida's better than Ole Miss. Florida's ahead of Ole Miss. I'll be honest, where Florida is today is where I think Ole Miss could be in 2 years. And I literally mean that. I don't mean that to be hyperbolic. I mean, I think Lane Kiffin could turn Ole Miss into based on what I've seen so far, I think he could turn them into a top 5 program in 2 years.
Well, what Lane Kiffin did is understood the game flow, and managed it to a point where they stayed competitive. You know, we don't have bodies on defense. Our defense is god awful, and offense is good. Matt Corral is a really good quarterback. Offensive line's okay. They let some things break down, and it's not great, but it's a situation where he understands the game flow and calls plays and calls situations to make them successful, and that's just a good head coach.
You were more excited by when Patterson came in with the time with that whole deal than today?
No. Today was more exciting, but it's been that long since I felt hope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, from an actual game excitement standpoint, at the end of a game, this seriously might be it since, from a program moving up standpoint, since 15.
Yeah, because the Egg Bowl win when Dak got hurt, or not Fitzgerald got hurt, or whoever.
Yeah, Fitzgerald.
I mean, it was you just kind of like whatever, like
Yeah.
you understood what it was.
I mean, that was the other thing that came to mind that's been since then, but yeah, not really.
And in the end, that win set your program back.
It did. This has hope behind. Like it was, like when and that's why I say that. It's Shea Patterson was a disaster, but when Shea came in and lit that game up, you saw hope, and you know it didn't work out. But this is that same thing. Is there's hope. Ole Miss is it's primed. Get the bodies in. Move on to next year. Get some guys to play defense, and we're going to be all right.
I agree.
What's the new win-loss record for the year? What do you got?
I think it's 5-5 still. And I went in with that because every year you're going to have teams that you beat you don't think you're going to beat, and teams that beat you don't think they're going to beat you. So
Not last year you didn't. Not last year you didn't.
Oh no, yeah.
2011 went all by script, Cole. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
Last year, you knew exactly what was going to happen. Yeah, no, I'm saying in a year where there's those things that happen, and that's what's fun again is you can go into a game and not just completely lay down and go, well, we're going to get our ass kicked today.
Sorry, somebody asking for the number in the stream. 662-259-0991. Oh, enjoy the victory. What are you sipping on for the win?
Woodford Double Oak.
Best value out there,
day.
or one of them at least.
Yeah. That's my
your
shelf
thing.
staple.
Yeah.
I couldn't go with the Stag Junior today because it's way too much day for something like that. So the Woodford was the lowest proof I had on the shelf.
The lowest proof you had on the shelf. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Well,
but it is, and we talked about this. For something you can buy it every day and go in the store and pay a reasonable price for, it's in the top 10 of just good, solid choices.
Well, enjoy that one. Have another one for us, and we'll talk again, bud.
You bet. Yeah, thanks, guys. Bye.
I'm sitting here looking in the I'm looking like on the
ask if I hated Woodford. I'm not a huge fan of just normal Woodford Reserve. It's not what I'm going to grab, but the Woodford Double Oak, is one of the it's one of the best values you can find out there that you can always get. There's no doubt. That Old Forester 1910, a couple you'll find in most places that are good stuff and a good price point. Yeah, Gatewood no snaps today.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Well, Wilson played well.
Yeah, he was fine.
All right, I'm going to call Blake, right? The phone's just going wild, too. Feel really bad that this is not working better than it is. It's just kind of bummed me out, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Gentlemen, we're here. Yeah, good evening. Hello.
Our site is currently down, and our YouTube stream is fairly messed up. So, how's your night going?
It's going pretty good. I've got a drink in front of me. Rebels get a win, so hard to complain. I'm watching you guys on TV here. It's going well. Don't worry.
Okay.
What's your drink?
I've got some Cat Head vodka, and I'm drinking this something the wife found. It's like a blueberry basil lemonade kind of mix. So
How's that?
throw it all together. Hey, it suffices.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're hanging in. It's all good. It is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. We really kind of frustrated. Like Neal said, this first win since New Mexico State, and the only win since New Mexico State since we've covered this.
It's proof that someone doesn't like me. I mean, we've
and
always
this is
known
the time
this.
the computer and the site decide to go. You know what? We're out. We're just checking out tonight.
Yeah, it's just very, very frustrating. But I'm trying to figure out like a way around it in my mind.
I think the site will be back, so that's a win.
The site's back? Oh, what a shock.
So anyway, sorry,
Well,
Blake.
I appreciate y'all having me back on again.
Yeah, we're gonna do it every week. Neal is currently using the camera that we would use to show, but I have the powder blue Genos on today.
I could probably still do it. I'm trying to figure out. It's like twice in a row that I feel like I'm screwing Blue Delta jeans over too, if I'm totally honest. And that's part of my frustration. I'm trying to.
After last week with your modeling debut, we got some feedback that the fans were a little upset they didn't get to see Chase wearing his, so we wanted to get that set up for this week.
Yeah, and so here's what I'm thinking. Let's see, Chase. I can take me off. Let's see. I mean, what the hell? What could possibly go? That's what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna take me off, and
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm watching Neal. Yeah. We're watching the gears turn here. Is what we're doing. He's figured it out. Got it all worked up. I think he got it. It's just a matter of yeah.
Who you got for tomorrow at Sanderson?
I haven't even seen today. What's our situation? Is Bradley still in the lead? What's up?
Yeah, you've got last I saw it was Poston and Sergio and Cam Davis, and then Snedeker's one back of them. So you got a pretty good field heading into Sunday.
I mean, the names like Bradley and Snedeker and stuff. The tournament I feel like kind of needs that. Like I get they've always sort of been, hey, up and comer wins or whatever, but in a year where, from a career standpoint, them getting their best field in, they've been the only game in town for a couple of years now as far as not being an off-field event. I think they kind of need the name. I think Keegan Bradley or Snedeker or somebody like that would be really good for that tournament at this point.
Yeah, I have to agree. We've been lucky the last couple of years. We were able to go down and be a part of the PGA gifting, and unfortunately, with the fan situation, we weren't able to go down this year. But love seeing those guys get big names in the fields, and every year they just get a better and better field. And personally, Tennessee guy, I'd love to see Snedeker put one on the board, but it's hard to cheer against Sergio, of course. Well, I guess people find a way, but I like him.
I will say we've I don't know what we're doing as far as the camera. We'll get it worked out, or we'll do it some other time. We'll figure it out either way. But I do have the powder blue Genos on. They you can play. Speaking of golf, you can play golf in them. You can they feel different than the denim. That's one thing we didn't point out last week is that it's something that is a little stretchier. It's a little more athletic. It's a little more fitted for whatever the situation is from a casual standpoint. It's sort of that deal where it can be dinner and golf and everything all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, obviously we're a blue jean company, so blue jeans are always and forever will be our main product. But as we've grown as a company, and I'm sure a lot of people know, we were asked to be the official jean of the U.S. Ryder Cup team
right.
for what was supposed to be 2020, now 2021, and as we've grown as a company, people are always looking for a little bit something unique and different, and a golf pant is one thing we've always been asked for. But typical golf pants here the last couple of years have gotten real thin, real lightweight, real stretchy, just kind of a what we consider to be kind of a more mediocre material. And so we found this Geno with the goal being to have more of a performance pant. So last week, Neal's got it on with a polo and a hat, and you can wear that to basketball games, to football games, to do whatever. But yeah, like you pointed out, our goal was to get a pant to where it would be, more utilitarian, something you can wear to the golf course, a little bit more, performance material, basically. So you're dead on. That's what we were going for. Light, stretchy, comfortable, but still well fitted, like everything we do is.
Okay, so this isn't, Blake, you can't see it yet. This isn't great production quality. We're going to make this right, but people can see the pant. You can't see all of Chase here. You can see the pant. Like you said, you could play golf in these. They stretch, they hold up. They're a remarkably great fabric. They hold up. I don't know. You're explaining it better than I do. They have a stretch to them that a typical khaki doesn't, a typical pant like this doesn't. But they hold their form so much as opposed to a much cheaper made product.
Yeah, I mean that was the whole idea behind it, and you said it well there, Neal. I mean, y'all guys have been big fans of us for the last couple of years, and we certainly appreciate it, vice versa. But this is one that we were excited, and I think I mentioned this last week. Y'all have been promoting us and speaking well of us for years, and so we're excited to be able to put them on air on you guys. Y'all, got a good crowd on the stream here. Hopefully, somebody sees these, and next weekend when they're in town for Alabama, you can come see us. Get yourself a pair in the works.
Yeah, that's and our thanks to Laura McCready for coming in here and manning a camera. And this is, just a train wreck, and I apologize. I'm really sorry. That's perfect, Laura. Thank you so much. All right, Blake, we'll get you back on next week. We'll make it right. I apologize.
No, it's all good. Hey, I got one. I got a parting question. I'll hang up and listen. Okay. What was going on there with Stoops at the end of the game with the refs? I felt like that's a bad look.
I'm glad you brought that up because
in the circumstances.
I'm glad you brought that up. I think he pushed a referee. I don't know. He was upset.
Offense?
He was upset about. Oh yeah, it's more than finable. He was upset about that pass interference call at the end, and I don't know how in the world he could be upset about that. That was an easy call.
Had to be just frustration, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, officials don't want to decide games right there. That was an easy call. You had to make that call. My goodness gracious. I mean, that was he mauled him. I mean, there was no way around it, right? I mean, you had to make that call.
Yeah, no, I mean, if anything, I figured Kiffin would be the one with the right to be upset with the refs at the end of that game. I'm, a homer, obviously, but me and Twitter and the rest of the world, I think we saw a couple questionable calls there at the end, maybe on both sides of that one.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss was hit. It's what we talked about with Jeffrey a little bit too. I mean, Ole Miss was hit with such that sequence there where they have the bad call go against them. They don't get in. It's just where it looks like the whole thing kind of falling apart. And them as a team that doesn't necessarily know how to win a ton, to come back through all that and then to kind of find a way to get in at overtime, put it away. That was a grow-up moment a little bit for Ole Miss. We'll see where it goes. I mean, next week's obviously a tall task, but that's something that mentally they would not have been able to do a lot of weeks.
Well, the good news is that, after next week we will not be 0-3. So that's the big win for the weekend, I feel like.
No, and I tell you what, this game in Starkville is starting to shape up, and I don't mean just the score, Chase and Blake. Chris Landry and I do a show, and I'll give Chris some credit. I think Chris is an LSU guy, and he was a little pissy at LSU, frankly, about the way they played last week. But his analysis was spot on when he said Bo Pelini had a terrible plan against people said he was mad because LSU lost, and I don't think it was as much that as he was mad at the fact that LSU had such a terrible plan for the air raid for Mike Leach's offense, and they didn't adjust to it. And Barry Odom, who does not have the talent to work with in Fayetteville that Bo Pelini has in Baton Rouge, is running a completely different plan against Leach, and it's giving Costello some fits. And Arkansas's, it's not, again, this is just not just the score. That's a hold up there. It's just a weird look. It's 14-7 Arkansas with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mississippi State just got a first down, but they're taking away a lot of that quick stuff. They're forcing Costello to do different things, and so far, frankly,
Odom is good, and it was on tape. They got a week to go.
Right.
Okay, And I get Leach's scheme, but it's still different with the personnel and the recency of it.
Yeah, they've been scouted. That's one of the things that Landry said. He said they're not going to be able to keep doing that week after week after week after week, and lo and behold, he looks like he's right.
Well, when everybody knows what you're doing every down, I feel like it's a little bit easier to figure out week after week, even if you do have talent there.
Yeah, it's one of the things I loved about what Ole Miss did today is there's no predictability. I mean, the last couple of years I could pretty much predict the play that was coming. Today it was like, oh, that's new, and they tried even some of the things that didn't work today for Ole Miss were super creative.
Well, it's I said it last week. I'll say it again. It's we got a fun team to watch for the rest of the season at the very least. This will be a good movie every weekend we've got going here.
Yeah, I agree. Blake, thank you so much.
Well, yes, sir, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night.
You
Thanks,
too.
Blake.
Bye.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird spot here for State. It's become the intriguing game with Georgia just boat racing Auburn over there.
Georgia's pummeling Auburn.
Yeah.
Just destroying them in ways that. Let's see. I need to put the number on. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the number since we won't be listening. Let's see. I probably can do a thing in a minute. So you're telling me my column's up? I just need to change the thumbnail?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
You want to do that real quick?
Yeah, if you want to change the thumbnail, just make it anything with Kiffin.
You're getting to watch basically chaos in motion, guys, on a night.
Yeah.
You're just kind of.
I feel terrible about it. I really do, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'd like it for that to be the case. There's no easy answer, but it's just one of those deals. There's getting worked up about it. It's not going to help us any, so we're just going to have to deal with it.
Yep. All right, the phone lines are open. I've got the number on the screen. Arkansas just intercepted Costello. A minute 18 to go. That's fast becoming the interesting game. Hey, is this Bubba?
Hey, boys. How y'all doing?
I thought that was you. How are you, Bubba?
Doing great. Just sitting here, been drinking. I tell you what, this has been a spectacular day. I haven't been this happy. I've got Daddy on the line with me.
Listen, I love Daddy, but you mentioned earlier in the week, if I recall correctly, that if things went well on the field tonight, that things could go well elsewhere with Mary, and I wouldn't mind having a conversation with Mary at this point.
Well, I tell you what, she just went to the Walmart. As soon as she gets back, I'll call back.
Okay.
But I called Daddy because he's an hour ahead, and he said he wasn't going to last much longer. He's been drinking a little.
Yeah.
Tennessee's.
Hey, congratulations to the Vols. Congratulations to the Vols, Daddy. The Vols look like, if they're not back, they're at least decent. So congrats.
I told you fellers they was back.
Well, you did. You did. You did tell us that they were back. The only thing is, and don't take offense to this, is that we hear that every single year from every single Tennessee fan. So it is a little bit like the boy that cried wolf.
Well, yeah, that's probably true, but I think they won a national championship since you guys have.
Oh God, here it goes. I tell you what.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Daddy. How many water skiing national championships have you won?
Water.
There you go. See,
he's talking about that.
Yeah, I know about that. We got a lake out here that everybody water skis on.
Yeah, but you're not winning championships. So what'd you think of the Rebels, guys?
I tell you what, Neal, I thought they did great. I'm so proud of Mount Corral. He's just doing so well. I mean, everybody's talking about Plumlee, but we did really good. And sitting here with Miller on my lap, he's sleeping. And by the way, I told Daddy, I said, if y'all keep winning, your coach will end up getting fatter and fatter. So there's no telling. So he's been really happy tonight, and so have I. But it's just nice to call you guys and have a positive night. And first win for hand raise, guys, and we all came through it together.
First one since New Mexico State. Yeah.
Don't look past the Aggies.
Yeah, we'll always have that night. I don't remember
The
it.
Lane Kiffin higher night was technically a win. We'll take it.
Yeah.
It'll play.
You want to say anything, Diddy? I know you're about to just fall off the earth.
I have trouble saying good things about the boy, but he can coach football. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He can dial up some plays.
He can. Well, hey, guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate the call.
I'll call next time with Mary. Bye,
All right.
boys.
Sounds
Bye.
good. Think we'll get that call back?
I don't.
Do you not? You don't,
I'm not hopeful.
you don't think Mary's going to call in?
I'm gonna bet the not. Although maybe tonight everything going haywire will actually hear from Mary. Hey, who do we have here? Hey, turn your device down.
We've been pretty good on how to say that lately.
I'm down.
All right, what you got?
First time Fister, long time Kentucky fan.
All right, go ahead.
All right, who we on with?
Well, you called us. You tell us.
So I'm a Kentucky fan.
Okay.
And I've been since like 12 p.m. I'm with 9 Ole Miss fans. It was the worst day of my life.
Where are you at?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Rain with 9 Ole Miss fans. It's the worst day of my life. I don't understand. Matt Ruffalo messed it up for us. I know I'm on radio, so I can't say that word, but that's what I'm feeling right now. Oh, Big Ben with a 1, Kentucky, LOL. Come on, Kentucky fan. I see your smack talk on YouTube. It's not fair. I'm stuck here. I'm 31 years old. 31 years old.
Yeah.
My entire life, I've had to deal with this shit stuff. Sorry. I know we're on the radio. I've had to deal with this stuff. And we lose because Matt Ruffalo cannot make a field goal or an extra point. I mean, tell me what.
Well, he almost missed another extra point. I mean, you're lucky you got that one.
Yeah, he almost missed another one. I mean, it was close.
That running game, listen, y'all, I don't even know what to say.
What have you been drinking today? Hey, hold on.
Yeah.
What kind of alcohol are we having today?
What are y'all drinking tonight?
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, you've had more than Bud Light.
So that's that.
It's all Bud Light all day?
Yeah, Bud Light. Well, a little bit of Ultra, a little bit of Wicked Weed, a little bit of Natter Days.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Bush, Old Forester.
Yeah, that's about more like what I was thinking because this didn't feel like just Bud Light.
No, it's a lot more than that. You're right.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, respect for the win. But man, it's one of the worst days of my life.
Yeah, you said that. Hey, well, listen, we hope it gets better. Thanks for the call.
Hang on, hold on.
Okay.
Are you just like are you just hanging out at the house? What are you going to do? Like you going out and hitting the town and celebrating, or what?
I'm going to town next week. The wild man cometh. The pirate's gonna, do his thing.
He said you're drinking White Claw.
No, I'm not drinking White Claw. White Claw sucks. Bud Light Seltzer, bro.
Is that really better?
Yeah, it's way better. Try it. Do yourself a favor.
Hold on, you were claiming like ownership because it's Bud Light Seltzer instead of White Claw?
Yeah, no, Bud Light Seltzer is way better than White Claw. Only Ole Miss fans drink White Claw.
Okay.
That would be very good for market share.
No, well, there's like 9 Ole Miss fans who one of me, so like market share is pretty down right now.
All right, thanks for the call.
No problem.
I was getting tired of that call.
You are?
A little bit. Let's see who else we got. Hey, who do we have?
What's going on, guys? It's Tommy from Oxford.
Hey, Tommy, what's up, man?
Oh, man, not a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm on a small batch 1792.
I've never had that, I don't think.
A lot of people really, really like it. For whatever reason, it does not sit well on my palate. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people that swear by it, but it's never been something I've been overly interested in.
Boys, I'm going to tell you, after that game right there, the wife's scared to death. The dog and the kids won't come near me, and I'm a little shaky myself. Welcome to the Lane Kiffin era.
I think it's that.
Listen. I'm starting to change my tune on this.
What do you mean?
I don't know how many close games Ole Miss is going to play over the next few years.
Whoa, what are we doing over here?
I know, right?
If he gets defensive players, they're gonna move up. I'm watching the rest of the league day in and day out. You know me, Chase. I'm not a uniform. I love uniforms, but I don't think a team wins just because of uniforms. I don't think you can roll your helmet out there and just win.
Well, I get that.
So
what all gave you optimism today, Tommy? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking good things. I'm actually thinking that Lane Kiffin starts taking over as these games get down to the wire, and that's what a head coach should do versus what we had last year when Matt Luke just said, "Hey, defense coordinator, do what you do. Offense coordinator, do what you do." I think he starts taking over as these games get down to the wire, and things get a whole lot better.
Yeah,
I don't know why DJ Durkin wasn't listening to me all day long, but I was telling him to blitz.
He probably wasn't blitzing because they just were trying to figure out a way not to get – they were trying not to give up a lot of big plays. They didn't need –
They were giving up big running plays when they weren't trying to give up big plays.
I mean, they didn't need to give up an 80-yard run for a touchdown. They needed to try to – look, they're really limited on personnel on that side of the ball. I mean, if people aren't willing to admit that, then there's just it's kind of hard to have the conversation. You know what I mean? They're really limited.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't just go, hey, we're going to blitz, because then the other coaches figure that out, and then they draw up a play that's designed to take advantage of it, and boom. The part of the problem with the blitz is that Ole Miss has a hard time. Like there were a few times, Chase, where they brought blitz and they didn't get there. Because they don't have super fast guys off the edge that if you get the blitz call just right, the quarterback, there's nothing he can do. And Wilson's an athletic guy, and I just think they were pretty limited on what they could do defensively.
He thought schematically they were pretty good. They just missed tackles. I mean, Lane after the game was talking about how that he thought first half, second half, it was a little bit of physicality difference, that they actually made some plays when they got there, and in the first half they simply just didn't do it. He did not seem like it was a huge scheme change at any point, that they were able to make those stops just by a little more, frankly, effort in some ways.
Absolutely. I thought they were in the right scheme a lot of the times, but didn't this game speak volumes for recruiting? Now they got a lot of things to say to recruits, like, look, guys, if we had you and we were in that scheme, guy, you would have made that play right there. You wouldn't have missed that tackle. You wouldn't have been the second guy to miss that tackle. You wouldn't have been the third guy to miss that tackle.
Yeah, here's what you tell recruits. Recruits see they see that it's fun. They see all the stuff on the sidelines with the chain and the money bags and they see Kiffin.
Money bag, yeah.
Yeah, they see all that stuff and it looks fun. Look, they're kids. They want to have fun. I mean, they don't want it to be drudgery. They want it to be fun, and and it looks like fun. And here's the other thing, and teams do this. All teams take on the personality of their head coach. Alabama, for example, very businesslike. If you watch them warm up, you watch them play, very businesslike. Georgia's kind of gotten that way with Kirby. It's just 2 games, but Ole Miss starting to look kind of a reflection of Kiffin. Fun, loose.
They are. Yeah.
Fun, loose, confident.
They're fun.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate it, Tommy.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thanks. I missed a pretty good bit. Did you announce our bourbon of the night? And
I have announced it, and I'm glad that I did it when the camera actually worked. Isn't that weird as hell? Anyway, it's Old Elk. Would you like some? I need some. I need to pour like 10 things down my gullet and just. I'll let you describe it. I'll pass you the bottle, and you're better at talking about it.
I do like these Glencairn glasses from Old Soul.
Yeah, they're nice. I do think coaches impact the personality of their team. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Jason. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jason.
I see you pouring, so you obviously are.
Well,
he needed the pour,
well.
okay?
I'm trying to get better.
That's quite the pour.
Is it?
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I need it.
All right.
Would you like to argue?
I can't hear you. I lost you.
You can't hear us?
Okay, I got you now.
All right.
I heard you talking about the money bag before I jumped on. Is that not a great troll job of the NCAA?
I mean, it ends up being a troll job. I don't think they mean it as that. I think they mean it as, you make a money play, you get the money bag, all that stuff. I just think it's having fun.
Plays like that get you some money later.
Plays
NFL,
like that,
yeah. There are some connotations you can take there.
But I mean, I get what you're saying, and it is kind of funny. But I don't really think that's what it was designed to do.
Well, I was happy. I mean, my wife was mad at me because I obviously have been drinking all day, but I was into this game more so than I've been for years. And the officiating in SEC is awful, but I thought the kids really deserved to win. And it was so much fun to see them not, especially after I don't know how they overturned that touchdown, but to see them come back after that was just awesome. And,
I thought that was
Kiffin's reaction.
I thought that was a big moment for the defense to get a stop right there, to get the ball back and go score, and sort of negate that, where that ended up not being a thing. That ended up not really, they got the touchdown. It took 2 minutes or 3 minutes more, but they got it. So I thought that against Florida. I thought they kept coming back against Florida. Florida was just better than them, period.
Yeah.
And I mean, they kept coming back, and today they kept coming back. They're down 2 touchdowns, and you're getting gashed, and yet they kind of sucked it up and made a couple of stops. And there was that key drive. We said it at the time. It was 28-14, and I remember saying that you have to do something here, and they did. Went down and scored, and then scored again, and ultimately scored 21 in a row before Kentucky came back to tie it. I just thought it spoke. I just think it speaks volumes for where they are.
21 in a row at one point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it speaks volumes for where they are. Chet's asking for me to be specific about what they're missing on defense. Okay, they don't have an athletic, big defensive tackle. They don't have one. They don't have that edge rusher who can consistently create havoc off the edge. Correct me where I'm wrong, Chase.
No, I'm listening.
At linebacker, they've got some guys who make plays, but they don't have elite playmakers at linebacker. They don't have anybody at linebacker who you look at and go, that's an NFL linebacker. He makes plays. At corner, they're not particularly big. They don't have a ton of speed, and at safety, there's a reason that they were talking about John Rice Plumlee moving to safety. They need an athlete there. So when I look at Ole Miss's offense, I see some potential pros. When I look at their defense, I don't see a lot of that, and that's not being negative. I'm not criticizing the kids or their effort or anything like that, but there's not a lot of NFL talent on that defense. Do you see it? Or am I crazy?
No, there's very little NFL talent. I mean, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, you talk scheme. They were running that little outside kind of sweep where they pulled the guards. Jalen Jones was in place to make a play multiple times and just didn't have the speed to catch up with the running back and tackle him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was right there in position. I mean,
I don't know.
Every time.
Were you with us this morning when this morning? It's been a day. In the 2 o'clock hour when we were talking to Taylor Zarzer, he had.
I've been off and on all day.
Okay, well, Taylor was talking to Chris Partridge on Zoom last night. Taylor did the call for SEC Network today, and he said Chris Partridge told him, he goes, because it sounds weird, but one of the good things for us is that when you went back and looked at the film of the Florida game, we were in the right place. We were lined up correctly. Sounds like nothing, but that's a big deal. But they just weren't able to make the plays. Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
They've got they need to be more athletic at corner. The defensive line, though, dictates so many things in
Yeah.
all of football, but
Yeah, of
college
course.
football especially, where you don't have all pros around and they can make up differences in different spots. So, no, you hit it. It's the pass rush, and it's having a consistent quality group up and down the line. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because, again, it holds them off the linebackers. It gets pressure so your corners and safeties aren't having to do as much. I mean, the defensive line dictates everything, and when you don't have that and when that's the weak part of your defense, it makes everything else just that much worse.
Who do we have, caller?
This is Ed from Macomb.
Hey, Ed.
Are you feeling better about things today? How's it going?
No, y'all couple of clowns sitting up there getting excited because we beat the dynasty of Kentucky. Who gives a damn it's Kentucky? They ain't Alabama.
Well, no, they're not
Let me-
Alabama. That's true.
They sure as hell ain't Arkansas either.
But they're
are
not
they?
Arkansas, though. They're Kentucky won a bunch of games the last few years. I don't know if you've paid attention, Ed.
I'm gonna tell you something. Kentucky, year after year, is one of the worst teams in the country. Y'all excited about nothing. And the other thing, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Y'all might want to just step off the lane train for 5 minutes and look around.
Okay.
Y'all don't think it's a coincidence? They fumble on the 1 yard line, and the field goal kicker just happens to miss the extra point to lose the damn game. You know, maybe they was on the lane train. That's all I'm trying to say.
Wait a minute. Are you accusing
It's coincidental for me.
Ed? How much Bud Light have you had tonight?
I had damn near 20, and I'm going to tell you something. Y'all like my wife, Earlene. She started squealing about how damn excited. Oh, look at me over me, jumping up and down when they won. Got my hound dog down. I told her, sit down and shut up. You just beat Kentucky. What we going to get excited about, Vanderbilt?
I mean, a win's a win.
I mean, hey, a win over Vanderbilt counts just as much as a win over Kentucky.
They going to lose every other game they play.
So-
Let me tell you something. It don't get no easier than
So,
Kentucky.
Ed, let me see if I understand. Earlene is an Ole Miss fan?
Yeah, that's my wife.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
You should speak nicer about Earlene.
What do
Ed.
you think about the Arkansas game currently?
You've
How's it
been
going?
married as long as I am. You don't get excited about that. What you ask me?
He asked, "What do you think of the Arkansas Mississippi State game so far? They're at the half there in Starkville. Are you a State fan or are you an Ole Miss fan?"
I'm an Ole Miss fan. I told y'all I'm probably about to be a State fan. I ain't watched it. I got
Okay.
so damn sick. I turned off the TV.
What'd you think of Matt Corral? You were not excited about Matt Corral being the quarterback the other day. He played awfully well today. You have to admit that, Ed.
I don't know why the hell he doesn't get a tattoo on his face to match his arm. That's how I feel about Matt Corral. I don't give a shit about Matt Corral. Let me tell you something.
Ed, that's not Ed. That is not nice. That is really, really bad.
I tell y'all, it's a sad day in Ole Miss sports right now. It's a sad day.
Ed, it's
They
not
got
a sad
Lane
day.
Kiffin.
It's
They
Ed.
got Lane Kiffin, who is a disaster. He's a prissy, petunia ass coach. I don't give a shit.
So you
about
think
it.
Ole Miss is going to lose to Vanderbilt?
Y'all gonna be lucky. I
Hey,
call it
whoa,
this show.
hey,
I'm
wait, hold
tired of
on,
all
Ed.
of it.
Hold on, Ed.
So you think Ole Miss is going to lose to Vanderbilt?
Oh, I guarantee you. I tell you what, if they do, if they don't, they'll sure as hell get excited about it, just like they did tonight. Whoa, we beat Kentucky. Who gives a shit?
I'll tell you what, Ed. If Ole Miss loses to Vanderbilt, Chase will eat mayonnaise out of a jar right here on the screen.
Whoa, hold on. How did that get over here? I mean, hadn't Vanderbilt won like 5 of the last 10 of the damn series? I mean,
Yeah.
look, I think Ole Miss is going to win, but let's settle down.
All right, Ed. Appreciate the call.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. That was Ed.
How did that get over here? I mean, hadn't Vanderbilt won
Hey,
like
turn
5
your
of the last
turn your
10
dev- turn your device down. Who do we have?
Hey, this is Daniel in South Haven.
Hey, Daniel. What's up?
Hey, guys, I just wanted to call because this is like the first positive day Ole Miss has had in a long time, so I just figured I needed to call. But I thought the player of the game, one of the plays of the game was Jamar Richardson. He had that big sack on 3rd down, and then right after that, he was in man coverage and made a pretty leaping play to, stop a touchdown. And other than that, I mean, our defense is pretty terrible, but I was pretty happy about that. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but every time I watch Tariq Tisdale, it just makes me furious. He is about as lazy as I've ever seen. He takes plays off. There's plays where he's just jogging, where he could actually make a play if he'd sprint. There's plays where he's not even trying to get past the O-lineman. I don't know if we're just that thin on the D-line, or that's why we're playing him. I don't get it.
Well, I won't say specifically about Tariq Tisdale, but yes, you are thin on the defensive line. It's a major concern. It's a major focus in recruiting. It's one of the reasons they committed a junior college defensive lineman just the other day. It's just a major focus for them on the recruiting trail. If you look at what they're trying to do in recruiting, it's D-line and defensive backs. I mean, they're really trying to change. They're trying to change the face of those two positions, and it takes time. You can't do it overnight. And it just, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, you're not working with a loaded deck on defense.
Is Clowney just not big enough yet? Is that why he's not playing yet?
We haven't heard a word about him.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's one where we're just kind of saying, I don't know.
And here's one of those things, when you ask Kiffin these questions, you don't get answers. He does not like personnel questions. He just doesn't really answer them. So in all likelihood, it's one of those things where he got hurt, had an injury that slowed him down, or he was one of the people that got in the, with contact tracing or whatever and had to miss some time, and he's just not ready. But yeah, he's not. I remember seeing him on his visit last year. I mean, he's got to grow. He's got to grow a lot, and that takes time. You just don't want. You don't want to put. It's very rare that a true freshman steps in at defensive line or outside linebacker or whatever and is an impact player as a true freshman. It just doesn't happen often.
And just what about Brandon Mack? I haven't heard his name a lot lately, but in the offseason it sounded like he was doing really well and he was going to be a big contributor.
This is going to sound like a smart aleck question I'm about to ask you. I mean it literally. Said who?
Well, I just always heard his name. It was probably players in the post practice press conference and stuff, but they'd always mention his name. I just expected to hear him a lot more, but
I don't know. This is going to sound like a cop-out, and I don't mean for it to. We didn't see any preseason, so it's just hard for me to say who looks like what. Does that make sense? I mean, we didn't see it, so I don't know. And so I'm always a little skeptical with when players are asked, "Hey, what do you think about your teammates?" And those questions happen basically. That they're phrased more specifically than that. But the question is, "Hey, what do you see from the young guys at blank?" I've yet in my journalism career, and I've covered Auburn and Alabama and Ole Miss, and I've covered colleges and a lot. And I've yet to hear a college player say, "Yeah, some of the young guys at this position, I'm not really sure why the coaches recruited them. They're not very good." That doesn't happen. So you got to be a little careful to read too much into players' comments about other players. And sometimes you got to really read between the lines with coaches. And then with this staff, we get the same coach every week. We don't get assistants. We get Kiffin. We get one voice. It's the Saban model. And so we're all going to sort of learn this together. You know what I mean? We're going to have to watch and see what happens over time. And those of us who are covering him are sort of learning a little bit as we go too, as to what you can ask. And I don't mean like where you get in trouble or any of that crap, but where you can get an answer, where you can glean something from it. And we're still in the early phases of that.
I know Durkin would probably kill for a Benito Jones or a Marquise Haynes right now.
Sure, of course. Of course. That's
why
they're out trying to.
That was a great game. I mean, we did it. I mean, the defense made stops when they had to. And I actually had my TV muted today and had the watch party on the whole time. It was a way better experience than listening to the announcer. So that's really cool y'all are doing that this year.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, man, y'all have a good weekend.
Same to you. Thanks. Taylor DeCastro with a gift. Thank you very much. Says, what's JRP's long-term role?
It's a great question. Because I didn't see where they tried to really move him around a whole lot tonight or today and take advantage of him in slot or anywhere else. I mean, he basically played those quarterback positions or plays, and then he was the backfield 1 or 2 plays early, maybe in the first 2 or 3 series, and that was about it. Is that right? No, something
I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
I mean,
I'm now trying to get Skype calls to answer.
Oh, we're having that problem now?
Oh, yeah.
Computer does not like us tonight.
No, the computer's mad. Isn't that weird?
It won't answer?
No, I'm gonna X out of this and then come back to it. I'm gonna quit, and then I'm gonna open. You know, it's angry today. This computer has had about all at once. Here we go. Hey, caller, who do we have? Nope. This is crazy, man. All right, I'm gonna close Skype completely.
Okay. Oh, that worked.
Yeah. I don't want to quit eCam. I want to reopen. Reopen Skype. And go here. Let's see. Yeah, our ability to answer calls is now. This is bizarre. Clearly, the computer needs a complete reboot tonight.
You see them on the screen. You
Oh, yeah. Incoming calls coming in one after the other.
Oh, that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
What happened?
I don't know. I quit Skype.
And you reopened it?
Well, when I go to open it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what happens now. Do I want to enter full screen on Skype? No. I don't. See if it'll let me answer the call. There it goes. Hey, who do we have? Hello, who do we have?
Hi, I'm one of the 4%.
Well, thank you for being with us. What's your name?
This is Hillary.
Hey, Hillary, what's up?
Not much, just my husband's a huge Ole Miss fan, and so I am too. And we're just having a great night.
Yeah, it was a good night for Ole Miss. I mean, a fun game, entertaining game, and Ole Miss wins.
Yep.
It has to be exciting.
It is. It's an exciting time in our house.
So were you a fan of another school prior to the marriage, or what?
Well, I'm originally from Iowa, so my loyalties are to the University of Northern Iowa, where I graduated from, and Iowa State, which is like our family team.
How did this?
But my family has transitioned to Ole Miss now.
How did the Cyclones do today?
I'm sorry?
How did the Cyclones do against Oklahoma today?
I'm pretty sure they lost. Last I heard, they were losing.
Okay, I had not been able to keep up with it today.
I'm pretty sure they lost. They're not very good this year.
So, we're Iowa people in here, but we'll forgive you. We've got the helmets and everything behind McCready over there. When the camera's working, you can actually see it. What'd you think about the game today? Tell us about it.
Oh, well, I was just excited that we won one, and my husband's here.
Yeah, she was watching the Preakness. I was actually watching the game. So, it was I was actually impressed with. I know the defense looked just completely miserable in the first half, but as y'all said earlier, they made several key stops, and I think that was probably the key of the game. And Mack Corral has just played out of his mind in the first 2 games. So if you can just, I guess, comment on that, we'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks for the call. Good Lord. There it goes.
What?
Oh, the Skype's just nutty, man.
You have problems over there?
Nah, it's been a day. But we're okay. We're gonna make it. Keep it in the dock. Yes, I want to keep it in the dock. I don't want to hide it. I want to keep it in the dock. Bizarre.
Got another
one? Yeah, what I'm having to do is between every call, I'm having to quit Skype and reopen Skype.
Seriously?
Yep.
This isn't ideal tonight. It's not.
No. And now it's not letting me answer again. Just crazy.
Not seamless.
Here we go. Hey, caller, who do we have?
This is Travis.
Hey, Travis, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Just watching Mississippi State play. Arkansas is looking pretty good against them.
Arkansas is drive. Arkansas just had a penalty, but they're driving. 12:51 to go in the third quarter, up 14-7 in Mississippi State territory. They look so much more organized than they did a year ago, and they're playing with a different level of effort than they did a year ago. They a year ago. Look, I never watched Arkansas football before last year, and I've got a kid that goes there, and I'm probably about to have two kids that go there, so I watch them a little just so I can talk with my kids about it. But last year they quit. The moment adversity hit them, they quit. And this year they're playing with a little more. I don't know what the word would be. Effort, intensity, confidence. They're trying to play with confidence. They don't have it yet, but they're trying to get it.
Yeah, they look like a more complete team this year, like overall, and they actually look like they're better coached in a lot of areas. Similar to us.
Yeah, well, similar, yeah. Again, it's it's funny because if you and I'm not this isn't my theory. I just happen to subscribe to it. It's somebody else's theory. By the way, Oklahoma leads Iowa State 17-13 at the half.
Not exactly a rout.
Our first caller should turn the game on and cheer for the
Hillary.
Cyclones. Hillary, they're in it, babe.
That she was really a Northern Iowa fan.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the personality of a Sam Pittman coach team would be, other than they like to have dinner.
Yeah,
Gravy.
I posted this earlier in the live chat, but our defense is horrible. But in the second half, after they gave up the opening touchdown, the opening drive, they only gave up like 194 yards, I think, the rest of the second half and overtime combined, which is kind of shocking the way they played. Pretty good stats, I think.
I think so
for our
too.
defense.
Yeah, they made plays when they had to make them.
Yeah,
that's about as far as you can go. I mean, like Lane Kiffin after the game, he said, "What do we give up, 1,000 yards rushing or something like that?" I mean,
well, even in the hold on, let me find it. Even in the press conference, so I think it was Parrish. I forget who it was, but they were talking about something or other, and they said so-and-so had this many yards and somebody had this whatever, and he goes, no, he said 400 yards. He goes, actually it was 408. He actually stopped in mid-sentence and corrected with a higher number than it actually was off total yards or rushing yards or whatever the hell it was at that point. So, yeah, 408 rushing yards.
Yeah.
56 for 408.
I mean, if you tell the average coach, hey, you're going to give up 408 rushing yards today, the coach just doesn't show up to the game. The fact that they did that and still found a way to win, it also tells you how efficient they were offensively, where you really had to take advantage of damn near every opportunity you got.
Yeah, and I think being down early in these games is kind of hurting us. I mean, we're playing really good offensively, but it's kind of hurting us on the rushing side of things because we have to pass the ball more just to keep drives kind of going, and especially when we're down 2 possessions.
Oh, I don't know. I think Lane Kiffin is a guy that he's going to do what his teams do best, but he likes to throw the football. Yeah. He likes the thinking part of it. I mean, the part of him that is most effective is that he sees the game in real time better than most people. I mean, there's a lot of great coaches who can look at film and pick it apart and come up with a great plan. Kiffin's strength as a play caller, and it always has been, is his ability to see the game in real time and realize what's available and make adjustments on the fly. That's always been his strength. It's the reason that, Lane Kiffin hired him.
Yeah, one thing I was surprised by tonight, though, was Henry Parrish only having 1 carry. He went for 3 yards, but it was just 1 carry. Kind of surprised me. I was thinking he'd have about 5 to 8 or so.
He's been banged up, and Snoop inside played pretty well tonight.
Snoop played really well.
There was really nobody's carries to take there from a standpoint of what they were doing offensively.
And they also used the short passing game as a running game.
Yeah, you mentioned Snoop. He should be on the field every time it's short yardage or goal line situation. He's very hard to tackle.
Yeah, he's terrific.
He has that low center of gravity.
Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Okay, that's a good sign.
You can answer another one.
Well, I don't want to jinx it. Don't want to jinx it, Chase. Okay, maybe this is a good sign. Let's see. We're about to find out. Oh, yeah. How about that? Yes, sir. Who do we have? Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Joshua from Fort Smith.
Hey, Joshua. What's up in Fort Smith?
Oh, nothing much.
Has the little one been doing that since the last time we talked to you, or has it just happened to be at the same time?
Well, they're just they're untrained.
Touchdown,
So,
Arkansas. Arkansas about to take a 2-touchdown lead over Mississippi State. 11:21 to go in the third quarter. This feels a little different than last week against Georgia.
Is it pandemonium in Fort
Did you
Smith?
Yeah, did you see Sam Pittman's interview at halftime? It looked like somebody had spritzed him with olive oil.
He is an oily guy. He's kind of gravy.
His pores appear clogged with something,
Yeah.
don't they? It's a.
Yeah, well, I had a comment and a couple questions for you guys.
Okay.
This is the second game in a row where Ole Miss got scored on right before the half and then kicked it off and got scored on again. And I know Bill Belichick's big on that. You know, the right before the half and right after the half, you double up on people. And I know that if I'm noticing it, everybody else is too. I just find it interesting that I'm sure that that's something that they want to clean up and not have happen to them anymore. But the two questions I had was obviously the hardest thing to recruit to on defense is defensive line. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I know we got the JUCO guy committed, but is it one of those things where they look at the Mississippi JUCOs as a short-term fix? Because it seems like everybody that's 6'4" and weighs 285 and can tie their shoes has an offer from Alabama, and it's really hard to get those guys.
Yeah, hey, we'll hang up and take that. Thanks for the call.
Uh-huh.
All right, and we'll take this one. And caller, hang tight real quick. We'll take that on. Look, I don't know that JUCO defensive line is ever. That's a stopgap. It's a Band-Aid. Ultimately, you want to recruit high school kids you can develop. I think they're going to be more involved in the transfer market than the JUCO market.
That's their hope and their goal. Now, it's a harder thing because obviously you've got a lot more competition for the transfer guys. I mean, that's around the country.
Yeah.
That's especially the ones that can play because the whole time everybody goes, hey, the transfer market's this and this. And, yes, look, there are some good players in the transfer market. There's lots of dudes that couldn't play at their current school that can't play at yours. So it's even a different level of evaluating than coming out of high school. It's a whole different deal. It's harder in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you can grab a couple, if you can find one, you can find more impact than the JUCOs. Because we talk about this across all sports. The JUCO guys, they're almost like college freshmen. It could take a year or two to transition. I mean, it's not some seamless deal. Even though they're older, it's a tougher deal. So what?
You think Sam Pittman just took Bielema's old tarps? Someone ask.
They threw them in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, just, hey, where are Brett's old tarps? Hey, thanks for the call. Who do we have? Hello, who do we have? Guess we don't. Take this one. Hey, caller, who do we have?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jarrett down on the coast.
Hey, Jarrett, what's up down on the coast?
Not too much. Just enjoying a couple of big wins. Neal, I tell you, whoever gave you that advice on that Air Force game sure knew their stuff.
I think this is called insider trading. Is what I'd like to call this.
Part of Neal's picks is that I have sources everywhere. We the interns work really hard all week.
I mean, Chase, I'm going to tell you that the information that was given to Neal was available on the World Wide Web. So, I mean, some people take the time to do their research, and some people don't.
Exactly right. Some
people take the time to practice blocking and tackling,
And
some people
don't.
I mean,
that's
that's
exactly
just,
right.
Yeah.
You're damn right.
So, I've kind of been at a party, so I haven't been able to listen to the show. What's been the mood? How has it been with the first big win post-game show?
People are pretty excited, Jarrett.
It would be great if our computer worked the way it was supposed to.
The computer issue is depressing.
That's not good.
But we're okay. We're Chase and others have helped tell me that it's okay. We'll get through it. It's not ideal. I won't lie to you. I look forward to rebooting the computer tonight and it working and me going, okay, it's all going to be okay. But clearly, either I did something or it just fritzed.
Well, I'm sure technical difficulties aside, the result of the game was a boost to your ratings either way, right?
Yeah. Well, we have more than 400 people with us 2 hours into a post-game show is a really good sign.
That's awesome. So since I haven't been able to listen, can you just give me the quick 30 seconds, your thoughts?
Just played remarkably well. I'm gonna let you go because it's so loud. Will you still be able to hear me or?
Yeah, actually I won't because I am in the car.
Okay,
actually.
all right. Well,
but I'm going to put you on mute so you're not getting any interference.
Okay, just they played remarkably well. They were able to be resilient when they fell behind. They struggled to stop the run. They're going to struggle to stop the run. Matt Corral was incredible. That's the bottom line. They developed a second receiver in Jonathan Mingo. He was terrific today. Kenny Yeboah made plays. Snoop Connor had a day. They found a way to win a game, and that's the bottom line. That's what this program needs, and it's playing with a lot of personality now. Thanks for the call, Jarrett. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. All right.
What's the area code that I should be looking for?
I'll look. I don't know.
Hey, caller, who do we have?
Oh, hey. So I just wanted to say you can't go 7-3 without going 1-1. So
it's true.
My picks still stand.
That is true.
From last week. And oh crap, what was it? So after looking at what is going on around the SEC right now, how has your choice, your pick for the games for the year, like 3-7, 4-6, how has that changed? Is it changing?
I'd probably increase mine a little bit based on what I'm seeing. Am I looking for 803? Okay. Hey, can we let you go? We got a call we need to take. Thank you for the call. We'll get back to you, I promise.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks. Hogan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Sorry about that. I was having to shuffle through a lot of different calls.
Busy night after a win,
Yeah,
it's a little different than, well, I don't know. We just played therapist the other way, but this one's fine too.
Well, you still kind of play therapist, I would imagine.
Yeah, we do. We kind of play therapist. Today it's a little happier therapy, which is good. These Ole Miss fans deserve some happy therapy. They've been through enough unhappy therapy. They deserve some happy therapy. They deserve a therapist to tell them that, hey, things are getting better. Things are going to work out.
Exactly right.
By the way,
Exactly right.
Auburn just got another field goal. It's 24-6, Georgia over Auburn. 10:09 to go in the third quarter. In Starkville, it's Arkansas 21, Mississippi State 7, but Mississippi State has the football 1st and 10 at the Arkansas 15 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
So did you help some people know what was going to happen in the game today, Hogan?
Did I have some people what?
You've been giving advice around for Ole Miss, Kentucky, right?
Very true. I actually just did a television show just now. I did Judge Janine on Fox, got off and called you guys after the big win. I wanted to call before, but I kind of had to get my head right. I was on, actually, being the spokesperson for the campaign, I have to do a lot of calls for volunteers and things like that. And it was brought to my attention that a group of people from Mississippi were driving to North Carolina to door knock on behalf of the president, which of course is a big effort we have and a big push we have to kind of get out and remind people to vote and talk to them about, voting for the president, et cetera. And it was a good call for me to do because I was born in North Carolina. My family all lived there. And of course I went to Ole Miss. And so on the phone call, they introduced me and I get to talk about the president for a little bit and where we want to take the campaign and where we want the country to be and where we want the country to go. And then in the course of the conversation, I pointed out that I was born in North Carolina. You guys are going to a great state. I said, but also I actually went to Ole Miss. And you could hear the hooting and hollering in the background. You could hear the hottie toddies and everything else. And I was, just real appreciative of all they were doing for the campaign, but also, welcoming me on the call the way they did. And I said, thank you guys so much. Whether you're on the Lane train or whether, you're paying attention to what Mike Leach does over there in Starkville, I'm just thankful you guys are out fighting for the president, et cetera. So we had this long conversation. And at the end, I decided to open up the questions. And the first question was about opinions on policy and where the president wants to take the country. I said, great. The second question, the person said, hey, this is, I don't remember exactly, but Stan from Tupelo. And Hogan, I just want to ask you about the president and talking about the peace he's made around the world. No one talks about that enough. We're pulling out of wars, the Nobel Peace Prize. And so we talk about strategy for a little bit. And the third person who calls in or is on the call says, hey, this is, I don't remember his name, but, this is Bob from Oxford, Mississippi. I said, hey, Bob, thanks for coming on, the call tonight. He said, I got a question. I said, yes, sir. And I kept waiting for something about COVID or something about, campaigning or ad buys or something specific, about the area of expertise for which I'm on the phone call to discuss. Instead, the question was, we're 6-point dogs to Kentucky on the road. What do you think our chances are of winning this game and somehow having a defensive stand? You think our defense can hold up to Kentucky's offense? And the only thing that was missing was him saying, I'll hang up and listen.
That's great.
First time caller, long time listener, first time caller. I was like, wait, what? And like Neal, the first game I coach, will be my first game to coach. I don't know anything about football whatsoever. I just pay attention. And of course, the funny part was when he asked the question, I didn't say I have no idea. Being politics, I was like, yeah, look, no way. Our pass rush is non-existent. I started breaking down like X's and O's, and I'm like, but thankfully Kiffin's recruiting well. I said, we got some kids out there that fight hard every night. Hope they can make a stand. We got our linebackers back. I said, but we just, we got a commitment from a 4-star. Like I'm just going through this whole thing trying to fill the void.
Yeah.
And I just realized this guy on a presidential phone call just asked me to comment on Ole Miss's defense on the road in Lexington.
That's awesome. That's great.
But I did. It's the same conversation I'd have with anybody else in the Grove, to be honest. I don't know. I'm no expert, but sure, we can talk about football if you want to. If you want to spend the time, I open up the floor for questions. You don't want to ask about the president? You want to ask about football? Let's have the conversation,
Speaking of the president, how is he?
I'll actually break news on your show. How about this?
Yeah.
I just spoke to the president. He just called me. And really good, making jokes. He's upbeat. He was asking about some policy. We talked about a few other things. Obviously, I'm not going to get into the specificity of a private conversation with him, but, he's doing really well. I think the video he put out today was strong. I think it was a reminder of what he's doing and how he's kind of facing a fight that so many in this country, millions of people around the world have faced. It's significant. I think that the president, obviously, my boss, but also my party and my bias. I mean, I feel like, he's got he's the best candidate. He's got the best message. He's got the best record. Lord knows he's got the best work ethic. I mean, he goes to more cities and towns and states in a week than Biden does in a year. But he's working so hard from Walter Reed. It's amazing what he's been able to accomplish just in the last 24 hours. So he's upbeat, and he's doing really well.
How many times have you been tested for COVID? Can you even put a number on it? More than 100 times?
I don't know. Maybe close to. Maybe I don't know. Because at the White House, you have to do it every day. Like, there was a core group of people around the president that they would make sure they tested every day, and I was one of those people. So every day I went in, I got tested.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate the call, man. Always good hearing from you.
You too, guys. Y'all keep it up, and appreciate all you're doing on the website, and filling content in this time is always kind of a fascinating thing for me to see kind of what you have to do to still deliver products to people that they care about. And so thanks for what you guys are doing and keeping us all informed who don't get to follow it every day, but get to check in on the website every once in a while. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
That's kind
Appreciate
of
it, Hogan.
Thank you, Hogan.
Thank you very much.
Bye, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
That was our friend Hogan Gidley. Let's see.
You looking for another one?
Yeah. Have a feeling I know who this might be. We go from Hogan Gidley to. Is this who I think it is?
We got to turn the device down.
Hey, who do we have here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
This is Matthew from Washington.
Oh, hey, Matthew.
Enjoyed the show. Love watching you guys. I just got back from a little watch party in Washington, D.C. with some fellow Rebels, and I got to say, we all agree this is the most excited we've been since 2014, our freshman year.
What made tonight so exciting?
Well, I mean, it's like you guys been saying, it's all about a little bit of hope. I mean, when you're, our age, about 24, 25, and you just want to go to watch party with some friends and not watch Matt Luke and Rich Rodriguez run up the middle, and we all believe in Lane Kiffin and what's going on with the Rebs right now. I mean, come on, it's excitement in there, and Elijah Moore's sub. We got 3 or 4 NFL players on offense, and the defense is what we thought. But, I mean, come on, guys are excited, and I think there's something we can build off of.
Yeah, I do too. I think you should be excited. Georgia just adds they make it, he made it 27-6 Georgia now. 5:51 to go in the third. What else you got? Anything?
Not much else to add. Honestly, I was just calling in because I was watching the show, but I had to ask a parting question. I guess, what is you guys' thoughts about where this team could, play better? Do you think the defense could play better, or do you think the offense has an extra gear? I know we've seen them do really well so far, but I mean, you can always hope for better. Is there another gear the offense can go to even further besides what we've seen? And I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, thanks. We've talked a lot about the defense. Let's talk about the offense. Can it be better?
Sure. I didn't think the offensive line protected Corral very well today. I know Kentucky's pretty good on the defense, but
Hey, turn your device down.
And they just hang up?
Yeah, I think they just hung up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I think they can protect better up front. I think that is possible.
Yeah, I do
pretty
too.
good.
He's having to improvise a lot right now.
There's still more in that receiving core, too. I mean, you saw Mingo break out, but they can find some roles for some Dennis Jackson, some guys like that.
They targeted Dennis Jackson in the second half.
I think they can do some of that a little bit. Henry Parrish, everybody loves him. He's eventually going to get some carries. There are things you can do there. And in a way, because they have more talent, you could even say from a this year improvement standpoint that it's likely the offense could still have more room for improvement than the defense does. I'm not sure it's a great argument, but I think it is an argument.
Big Ben makes a good point. Run blocking is not ideal just yet.
Especially in the middle.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, who do we have here?
I'm Mary Arden Miller, and we live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, thanks for the call.
What'd you think of the game today?
It was a good game. I've been watching football all day with my dad.
That's a good thing to do. What games have you watched besides Ole Miss, obviously?
We've been watching the Auburn and Georgia game, and the Mississippi State and Arkansas game.
Yeah, we're watching. We've just flipped it. I think we're about done with Auburn and Georgia in here. We flipped it to Arkansas and Mississippi State. Arkansas has the ball at their own 40-yard line. 3:18 to go in the third, 2nd and 6. I just got a text from my daughter, who's a sophomore at the University of Arkansas. She's actually watching the game, so I'm now a little bit more emotionally invested than I normally would be.
How old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
Oh,
12
really?
years old.
Who's your favorite Ole Miss player?
Elijah Moore.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a good one to have. Yeah, pretty solid player.
So you got excited there toward the end of the game?
I did. My dad.
We lost her.
Yeah, I did not hang up.
No, I
She
know.
did.
I didn't.
Yeah.
That would have been an asshole thing.
Well, I would never do that. Come on. I mean, I might be a bad guy, but I've never been that bad. Arkansas about to have to punt. Doesn't feel good for the Hogs right here.
Oh, you think it's starting to move a
Yeah,
little
it
on
just feels like it's going the wrong direction. You would love for a team that hadn't won a game in 3 years to win a game.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, who's this?
Hey, Neal.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah. Hey, give me one reason why not to bet the house on Mississippi State right now.
Oh, like an in-game line?
Oh, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't give you one reason.
You don't think the Pirates going to come back right here? 7 points down,
Yeah,
third quarter.
It feels like this feels like Mississippi State's about to take control of the game. By the way, LSU up 33-7 over Vanderbilt. 46 seconds to go in the third quarter. That you kind of felt like
that said more about A&M last week.
I was
than it did
getting ready to
Vanderbilt.
say the same thing. We're learning a little bit about Texas A&M right now. No, I don't trust Arkansas to close the game. They don't know how to win. They haven't won in 3 years in the league.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, guys. Y'all have a great rest of the night.
All right, thank you.
Body toddy.
Can you imagine 3 years without an SEC win? 3 years. No SEC win.
They had 2011 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, holy hell.
Nikki's probably not doing call-in shows, huh?
I'm going to guess not. On so many levels.
Now he's an asshole. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Mr. Sunglasses up in Memphis. How you guys doing?
What's up? How are you?
Doing well. I don't know if this has been covered yet by y'all, but at the end of the game, I guess there's a short conversation between Kiffin and Stoops. Didn't know if y'all had maybe at the press conference be willing to ask kind of how that little chat went.
Did something happen? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it looked like so. The coach for Kentucky was a little late getting to Kiffin when they were shaking hands.
He went to the
calls, according to the commentators.
He went to the officials first.
Talk to the refs.
Yeah, he shoved an official.
So I don't know if they showed that on TV or not. If they did, I didn't see it. But the commentators did note that, and then when they got together to shake hands, or I guess Nuck, it looked like they had a few words, and then the Stoops kind of had a few parting words. It could have been all, you really can't tell what they're saying, but I would certainly be curious to know what was exchanged.
Yeah, I'll see if I can see a replay so that I can see it, and if I see something that's noteworthy of asking, I'll ask. I would be shocked, and this is my first year to cover Lane Kiffin. I would be shocked if he gave me a lot of details there. But
if he was annoyed by anything, it probably was just having to wait. He does not. He's pretty much on his schedule, and Stoops messing with the referees and going on and on about something that was clearly and obviously a pass interference penalty and something that did whatever. If anything, it's probably, hey, can we just get this over with so can I move on with my day a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, he got to celebrate with his team. I mean, trying to get to his players a little bit too, probably after the game.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been Kiffin being necessarily angry. I think it was maybe, if for whatever reason it could have been the Stoops would have said, you got lucky, or if it wasn't for these refs, this would have been a different outcome. Again, I am purely speculating, but it just seemed like maybe Kiffin was taken a little back by their exchange.
Oh, okay,
so it was coming more from Kentucky.
Yeah, you've piqued my interest
from a ceiling standpoint. I know where I'm putting my stock if I got to go with one of those two programs. So
yeah,
because Kentucky's kind of hit theirs. That's the thing with Stoops. I mean, if anything, they've got to kind of find a way to stay there and not fall back down, because I just don't think there's much higher for Kentucky to go.
Hey, thank you for the call.
Thank you all.
Heading to the fourth quarter in hit the wrong button. Sorry, is what it is. Heading to the fourth quarter in Starkville, Arkansas clinging, I think that's the right word, to a 21-14 lead going to the fourth. Who do we have?
Hey, fellas, it's Ryan in Dallas. How are you?
Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Well, I've had more fun in the Lane Kiffin era in the last two games than I've had in 2 years of the Matt Luke era. So I'm freaking driving the Lane train, baby, all day.
He's such a fit for Ole Miss. He embodies all that is good and all that is stereotypical about Ole Miss. He does. I mean, I'm right. You're like, oh God, are you really going to go there?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
But he does.
No, he walks off the plane in a checkered suit, looking like he just walked out of Landry. I mean, you could not write a better story than this.
No, he absolutely embodies all that is good and all that is stereotypical about Ole Miss. He's a perfect fit. I have no idea how long it lasts. Who cares? It's gonna be awesome. This thing ends.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it just has to be embraced.
Yes.
And I don't have a single moment for anybody who won't embrace it, because this is about to be the best 2, 3, 4, 5 years you could ever have. And the supermarket analogy, or the supermodel analogy, is absolutely on par. He can break my heart in 3 or 4 or 5 years, and we'll go hire whoever the next guy is, and then in 10 years we'll bring him back, and I'll kiss the ground he walks on. Let's just enjoy this. I'm not going to put up with the how long is he going to be here? Who's going to go get him next? Just have fun now.
Yes, exactly. For those who missed it, and I won't do the whole thing here, but if you offer a young single person the option of, okay, you can date a supermodel, she's going to leave you in 3 years. Or, and she is hot. She is scorching. She's a supermodel. She's pretty superficial. And she's going to dump you. It is not an if, it is a when. Or you can date the homely girl who probably will stay with you forever. That's your choice, your pick. If you don't pick the supermodel, it's because you don't understand the down the road portion of this, which is if you date the supermodel, the other supermodel friends who hang out with your supermodel girlfriend are going to start looking at you differently than they ever would have before. And before you know it, you'll have a string of supermodels.
And this game specifically was so important because momentum builds on momentum, right? And if Lane Kiffin goes 0-3 to start, anything he built in the off season by wearing a Kobe Bryant neck brace, whatever the hell it is, right, it gets lost. But all of a sudden, you just start compounding momentum and momentum and momentum. And all of a sudden, maybe you're in the game in the second half next weekend. And it just keeps building on itself. And all of this stuff is just there's just such a small room for error. And this kid missing that extra point tonight may have just been the little bit we needed to get this going in the right direction.
Well, the irony of it, if Ole Miss had not missed an extra point in November, we're probably not having this conversation. That irony.
Neal, we're not bringing that up tonight. We're not. That's old news.
No,
that's old news. But I do the subtle. Hold on here. The subtle flex of Hogan saying he just hung up with POTUS and called in the hand raise guys. It's just incredible, man.
Well, speaking of people who are dressed to the nines, Hogan Gidley's the only person that looked at Lane Kiffin's suit today and went, Been there, done that. Oh, it's a pick. That's a pick.
And we're going the other way.
Oh, he's going the other way. Look at the Hogs.
They got a shot here, guys.
Oh, that was a big play for momentum right there. And by the way, this is the best road uniform Arkansas can wear. Just a white on white with the red helmet. It's a good look.
Well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but JJ Pegues just got a target in the Auburn Georgia game. So,
did he?
But we're moving on. Wayne would have landed him if he had a couple more weeks with him. But I appreciate you guys. Listen, the streaming thing, man, that's not what it's about. People tune in for you guys, so I couldn't care less if I can see you on camera or if it's not the angle I want or anything. It's people turn in for you guys, so I appreciate you. But Neal, I'm kind of with you here. I think this thing could turn into something really, really special and quicker than people could think. But here's my concern: is our network able to handle that? Is our network willing to handle that? Can we make that happen? Can we get the buy-in? And do we have the network to be able to do that?
Today, probably not. Can days like today grow it? Probably so.
Well, let's hope there's a hell of a lot more days like today because, this was fun. This was fun. Well, I appreciate you guys. I'll hang up and listen, and hotty-toddy, keep it up.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Our friend Chet in the chat, he's not happy.
They called a penalty on Arkansas.
Oh, did they?
A block in the back, though.
That was on the return. It was on the that was a different play.
Oh, they've already played another play? Okay, my bad.
You're okay. Hey, who do we have?
Hello, this is Clayton from Seattle.
What's up, Clayton?
How are you, Neal?
What's up in Seattle? Everybody, y'all stopped rioting yet? Are y'all good?
we're hanging in there. Starting off tough here, but things are getting a lot better. Listen, appreciate everything you guys are putting out. Love listening to the pregame show and then hanging out with you guys during the game as well. Just loving it. So keep doing your thing. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, a couple questions for you real quick, and then I'll hang up and listen. Number one, is Auburn on offense here? Is that an indictment on just how bad Chad Morris has become as a play caller and an offensive mind? And then number two, over under 5.5 wins for Ole Miss this year. What do you think?
The first question is, I think you have to give a ton of credit to the amount of talent that Georgia has assembled on the defensive side of football. That's number one. And then 5.5, Chase. That's a big number.
That's a big number.
I mean, I'd have to safely go under on 5.5.
Because it requires all the wins you're supposed to get plus one. Because I think we all think the most likely ones, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, South Carolina.
Yeah, Arkansas, Vandy, South Carolina.
And then pick another one.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, either way. Point being, that's making sure you get all those plus one more.
Yeah. Hey, caller, who do we have?
Hey, guys, this is Big Ben Law. Just drinking some Coke Zero.
Hey, all right. What's up?
So just wondering, we've been talking defense a lot. I think tonight the coaching has proved and the Jimmys and Joes and the X's and O's are good on 2 of the 3 phases. And that 2 of the 3 phases is good enough for 5 wins at least. Just after 2 weeks of watching.
Yeah, we're just talking about I mean, I'm not trying to cop out. Kentucky's a big win. And I think Ole Miss beats Arkansas, and I think Ole Miss beats Vanderbilt, and I think Ole Miss beats South Carolina. And you might be right. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to play a lot of exciting games.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed with beating Kentucky. I'm happy, but I know Ed was an obvious bit. I mean, he's a troll job, but come on. He does have a little bit of a point about beating Kentucky. I mean, we're happy. you're happy to cover a win, but I think we may be overacting a little bit.
Oh, I don't know. Listen, Kentucky went to a bowl game last year. Kentucky's been a really solid team. They're a good team. They have a lot of talent at both lines of scrimmage. To be able to find a way to win a game where you spent the entire first half getting your ass kicked at the line of scrimmage is a strong thing. I mean, they had 3 100-yard rushers, and you still found a way to win the game. I think there's a lot to build on there.
I think we're other than Bama, we're in every game. I mean, Auburn looks better now. LSU looks a little worse after last week, but I think we're in every game.
Well, you go from last year being this storyline of they come back in the second half to where they were never in those games. I mean, there was a moment even in the Florida game where you said, you make a play here and who knows. And then tonight, of course, today they get it done. I just think it's a complete different deal than what it's been in the past. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. And no worries about the podcast tonight. Y'all didn't need to reboot. I mean, as long as we can see y'all's faces and hear everything, it's fine. That's pretty much it. Sorry about the Cubs. Go Braves.
Yeah, go Braves. Go Braves. I hope the Braves beat the Marlins too. I do.
Yep.
Are you for the Padres now? And
yeah, probably so. If you told me I had to pick a team, I'd probably just go with the Padres at this point because they're kind of fun. I like Tatis. We watched them. Carson and I went to Chicago last year for a Cubs-Marlins series. No, Cubs-Padres series, and they were fun. You could tell that they were coming. Okay, I'm having a Skype issue again. I'm going to have to do it again. So hang tight. Got to quit Skype. Got to reboot Skype. There it goes. Yeah, this computer very clearly needs a complete reboot.
Oh, it hadn't been. We haven't restarted it, have we?
No.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I probably should have. Next weekend, I will reboot on Friday or Saturday.
I mean, I still don't like that it's doing that, but
it makes you a little nervous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh! We're in here cheering for the Hogs.
We are
at this point. I'm planning to hang on till the end of this game. People are like, what are you doing? I'd love to stay till the end of this game, and if they win, be excited. Arkansas only has 201 yards, but they've held Mississippi State to 247. Who do we have, caller?
It's Cam in Dallas.
Hey, Cam.
Well, first off, I'm originally from Meridian, so I've seen Jamon Gordon and the defensive lineman from East Mississippi.
Yeah.
He's an SEC guy. I mean, he's a freak. He's a freak show. I mean, we're lucky to get him.
Yeah.
Like, I know him personally, and Marlon Davidson, that was at Auburn, he was going to replace him. Guy who plays for the Falcons now.
Yeah.
I think he was number 3 at Auburn. He's a freak show. He's that type of guy. So he's very, very good. But, I mean, from what I've seen today from Ole Miss, I mean, I said this in the live stream. Corral, he's got some Manziel to him, just a little bit, just kind of that swagger, and just kind of the way he plays a little bit. He can move. He moves pretty well. He knows when to run, when to get down, and I mean, to me, if he keeps playing like this, he's an NFL guy. To me,
he's got an NFL arm. I'm not ready to compare him to Johnny Manziel just yet.
Oh, I'm not comparing him to Manziel. I'm just saying he's got some tendencies in that area.
He's got a better arm than Manziel.
He has some windows now.
He made some throws today. Mississippi State gonna have to punt.
They just screwed up. They had the first round and backtracked.
Yeah, and give credit to the official. They made the right call.
Yeah.
I mean, the West is wide open. I mean,
well, no, it's
well, but besides Alabama, I mean, Alabama's Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean,
other than knowing exactly who's going to win, it's wide open.
2 through 7 wide open.
Yeah. Second place is wide open.
I'm not even sure how I would rank them right now. I mean,
it'd be Alabama, number 1. Who would you even put number 7 right now?
LSU, maybe. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Don't you? I mean, seriously. I mean, I get it's a little bit of a bit. Don't you have to consider putting A&M 7 today?
Yes.
They only beat Vanderbilt 17-12 and got throttled today by Alabama.
I know I come across as the great Arkansas homer, and I don't mean to, but Arkansas led Georgia, who's kicking Auburn's ass, 10-5 midway through the third quarter, and they now lead Mississippi State.
What are you arguing?
I'm arguing that A&M might belong number 7 right now.
I thought you were arguing Arkansas was second.
Oh,
and I was
no. Arkansas's no higher than 6th.
Okay.
Maybe 5th at the most. But I'm saying
I don't even know how they were even ranked 10 last week.
I'm saying,
where did they get this? Where did they get this stuff from?
I don't. As someone who once was an AP voter, there's nothing harder than a preseason vote.
And when half the league, half the country's not playing yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't drink the Kellerman Kool-Aid whenever he hasn't even done anything. I mean, what's the best record he's had since he's been there? What, 8-5 maybe?
I don't know, something like that. They just there's LSU, by the way, up 34-7 over Vanderbilt, 10:36 to go.
Is that a cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the line's 20.
Oh.
So it's iffy.
It's tedious, but
yeah. Hey, thank you for the call.
All right.
618 area code. I don't know what that is. Hey, who do we have here?
Hey, this is Brian Murphy calling up in Beacon, New York.
Hey, there you go, New York. I knew 618. I was like, that's weird. Hey, Brian, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, man, it's a great night to celebrate here tonight up in New York, watching as I was putting my 2-year-old in the tub and holding my 1-week-old baby in my arms.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you guys. Here's my question for tonight. I know you guys are pretty superstitious, and I want to talk about sports superstitions or omens that you and Chase have.
Okay.
So I'm convinced that my baby, my second son, was born last Saturday, right before the Ole Miss game, and I know we lost, but I looked at him, and then I saw the Rebels play, and it was different. We just looked different that day, and I was convinced that it was because I had a second son, and he was finally bringing me good luck for Ole Miss. So, what are strange superstitions or omens you guys have for if it's the Braves or the Cubs? I grew up a Cubs fan too, so I'm with you, Neal.
Well, you know what they say in Bull Durham, if you believe it, it's true.
Yeah.
So you have it in the second game was absolutely the reason that it happened.
Yeah.
Well, look, I am completely normal compared to McCready over here in his baseball superstition.
Yeah, I have a
quirk.
I have a lot of weirdness as it pertains to the Cubs, and I'm not particularly proud of it. But
what's your worst?
The deodorant strokes is bad.
Do you know this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Chase, what's your worst?
Yeah, for any newcomers out there, Neal puts the number of deodorant strokes under his arm of whatever number the Cubs starting pitcher
pick
is
the
wearing
ball
that
up.
day.
Oh, you can't fumble it there. Oh, you can tell they don't know how to win.
There is no cheering in the press box in accordance to the National Football Writers Association.
Yeah, we're not in a press box.
I don't know that I have any like quirks as in like before the game, day of, shirt stuff, but I think the weirdest thing I do is I'll get like really during Saints games if I've been away and I haven't missed plays, I won't go to find out the score immediately. I'll stay on Twitter and scroll up to see how it happens. I can't go whatever, or if I'm behind in the game, it's on DVR. I can't shoot back ahead live. Like I've got some weird thing where I will completely avoid the score until I get back there in real time in whatever way. Like I cannot. I don't know. There's something about knowing it ahead of time that drives me insane. I'd much rather just not know and wait on it to come through.
That makes total sense, Chase, because tonight I was putting my 2-year-old son was in the tub, and I saw Kentucky score in overtime, and I stopped looking at my phone, and then I said, it's over. There's no way. We can't keep up. We sure as hell can't kick a field goal if we have to do that to win. And then I'm sitting there, and I say, how the hell do we have a kick to win this game with an extra point? So I am totally with you on that. I guess the second part of the question is, what would you be willing to do if you knew for sure that it would work? So, Neal, what is the wildest thing you would do for the Cubs to win another World Series?
He would eat
How
a tub of
extreme
mayonnaise.
would you go?
Yeah, I mean,
with bananas as a spoon.
If you one World Series,
Yeah.
Another. Yeah.
I'd think about it.
Ooh.
A banana.
I mean, I'd love that.
If you, I'd probably would.
It'd be worth it. It'd give you a couple days of joy.
Yeah, the Cubs World Series gave me more than a couple of days of joy. I was pretty joyful for a long time. Frankly,
you were drunk for 3 weeks.
Here's the truth: the joy, the Cubs World Series joy is just now. Even yesterday when they lost, because that core group won, I wasn't even that mad at them. I was more, hey, it's time to break it up. I know it's time to break it up. You guys will always be special. Does that make sense? I will always
100%.
I will always love that team, those guys. Like when Chris Bryant's playing for the Padres next year, I will have a soft spot for him. When Anthony Rizzo finishes his career in Miami, I will cheer for Anthony Rizzo. Those guys, that will be there won't be. Arkansas stopped them on downs. There won't be any part of me that will ever hate those guys. Those guys are even. Here's the proof of it. Dexter Fowler's a Cardinal, and I cheer for Dexter Fowler.
Yep.
You like Dexter Fowler.
I love Dexter Fowler.
Yeah.
Dexter Fowler was great. When he came back in 2016, it made me happy. He hit the home run in Game 7 of the World Series, blah, blah, blah. Even when he's beaten the Cubs a couple of times, it's been like, okay, well, I'm happy for Dex. That winning a championship changes the game.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree, and I'm glad that still gives you joy, and I would be the same way. Guys, appreciate it. It gives us a lot of joy and a lot of stuff to do whenever we're pushing babies and strollers and enjoying our time off. So appreciate y'all, and have a great night.
Enjoy the little ones. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thanks, man. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. No, someone in the thread says about Anthony Rizzo wearing a Cardinal jersey. That can't happen. So let's not. No, I mean, don't go overboard.
Yeah, that's kind of extreme.
Yeah, that's too much.
I mean, come on.
That's too much. I mean, you can be happy for your ex-girlfriend, but not if she marries your brother.
It does go away though at some point because, like the Saints, their title might as well has been 30 years ago. Like I'm just pissed off now.
Yeah.
Like there is a honeymoon period that ends.
Iowa State up on
Oklahoma.
We're staying in this for the Arkansas-Mississippi State game. If we're just being completely real, people are like, what are you doing? This is what we're doing. Who do we have?
Hey, so I got booted off last time, which is fine because I do like who you guys booted me off for.
Sorry about that.
That stuff is fascinating.
He had just been talking to the President of the United States. We need.
He had just been on. I mean, he was literally on the national TV show like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and he had been on the phone with the President. He was on CNN or ESPN or MSNBC or something. He was probably yelling at some CNN anchor. So
you think he gets on Fox more than he gets on MSNBC?
Yeah, probably more on Fox than MSNBC. But he and the CNN guy went at it the other day. That was great.
That was a great pickup. I am not mad that you guys booted me off. That's fine.
Thank you.
I do have another question. Are you guys going to have Jeffrey on Saturdays? Or are you going to have him during the week like you used to before?
No, we're gonna probably do what we did. We're gonna probably do what we did the last 2 weeks, which is get him on right after the show is over because it is so. And tonight's insane because the camera stopped working. He's number one. Jeffrey's a great friend. Number two, he knows football. Number three, he can talk to either one of us, and one of us can get work done and stuff. And it's just that the only moment in our Saturday that's crazy is about the 30 minutes to an hour after the game ends.
Well, have you guys tried like when he's on the call? Tried using like Zoom or Microsoft Teams in order.
Well, the problem with that, I don't know. It's a good question. Can you do Zoom live?
Yeah, we could do that. But
yeah, it might actually be better than Skype. I don't know.
Do
we got to figure out what happened.
Well, like Skype for our calls, but for him.
Yeah. Well, the problem tonight was, I don't know exactly. I think what we're going to do effective next week is we won't use Jeffrey's video. We'll just use Jeffrey on audio.
Okay.
Because I think
it
Jeffrey's
was fine last week though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think the video is what made it screwy.
Okay. Because you were fine until then?
I was great until then. So something happened with him. So
It's always Jeffrey's fault.
yeah, it is. Well, hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
They pick it?
No, it fell to the ground.
Okay. Felipe Franks is not good at football.
No, he's not. That was actually a good throw. 10 should have caught that. I don't know who 10 is, but he should have caught it.
Is that true? SMU student section was all kicked out for not following protocol?
Oh, wow.
The entire one?
Eric says you can do the Zoom live.
Yeah.
And just move it into the scene?
Yeah, I think so. I looked up how to do it the other day.
Okay, that's probably the way to go.
People shouldn't be in a bad mood next week. You play Alabama. You just go play the game.
Free shot.
Yeah, who cares? As long as Matt Corral's upright at the end of the game, who cares?
It's a total free shot. The next time you guys should be worked up about a loss would be if you lost to Arkansas.
And you should be worked up about that one.
And if you lose that one, then you have permission to get really upset.
Because Felipe Franks is just bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
And he's an upgrade.
All right, I got to close out of Skype again. It doesn't even want me to close out of Skype. Let's see. Yeah,
it's not working?
No, you got. If you could see this, you'd be like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, it's just not going. Yeah, just totally. It's totally on the fritz.
They can't move the ball.
Oh, here we go. Now it's back. No, they have no offense at all. This is Ole Miss should beat Arkansas 3 touchdowns. Because I don't know that Arkansas can do anything against Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah, Lane's not going to say on Monday it's a guaranteed loss.
No, why would you? But it would take everything going well.
Bama would have to just turn it over and turn it over and turn it over.
Yeah, and Ole Miss doesn't force turnovers so far.
Even the punter is bad for Arkansas. And their coverage is bad.
Yeah, State's
still going to win this football game.
Feels like it. 7:32 to go in Starkville. Arkansas up 21-14. Mississippi State taking over at the Arkansas 29-ish. Is that about where they were?
Yeah.
Got a call here. Let's see. I mean, our Skype account is right now just Band-Aids. Welcome into the show. Who do we have?
This is Corey in Oxford.
Hey, Corey.
Have y'all heard anything about what's going on with Kylan Hill? Is he out?
I don't know.
I've had a couple people ask me about that.
I saw him early in the game, played, but then I don't know what precisely.
We have no sound even,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're pretty lost on that one.
Okay. So what are we thinking? I mean, is Arkansas's defense that much improved in a couple of weeks, or?
No, I think what you see is that Barry Odom's a very good defensive coordinator, the former Missouri coach. He's a very good defensive coordinator. He's had a good plan for Leach and the air raid, and their kids have executed it pretty well. And I think you see just how bad Mississippi State's plan. LSU's plan was a week ago. LSU insisted on playing man-to-man. LSU was arrogant, and they thought that they could match up with Mississippi State man-to-man throughout the game, and they didn't, and State took advantage of it and beat them. And obviously Barry Odom has mixed it up a lot more than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, y'all keep up the good work, and I appreciate y'all doing this for all of us on the weekends.
Oh,
have a good night.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's just bizarre the way this is. It's just crazy. 6:43, 3rd and 5 for Mississippi State.
Down 7. I assume most everybody's watching this as well.
They said Kylan Hill, according to Wright Lynch, Kylan Hill might be in concussion protocol. I mean,
couldn't get pressure on him at all.
No, they.
It feels 24-21, Dogs.
It does. It has that feeling. Campbell's going to win this one, though. She took Arkansas in the points.
Whatever.
No, we have not heard from Spencer tonight. No idea what the deal is there. It's late. Hey, caller, who do we have?
Hey, guys. David from Chicago State.
Hey, David.
So, what a good job you guys do. Neal, one of the earlier takes you had tonight was team having fun. And so, back in the day, I loved Pete Carroll teams. And they had fun. And they were quite fun teams. And Wayne was a kind of a Pete Carroll guy. And so kind of, I think you had really a very smart take on that. So any additional thoughts?
The Pete Carroll thing is interesting because I think there's a temptation because he was most recently with Saban to compare Kiffin to Saban, but I think Kiffin is more Pete Carroll than he is Nick Saban. And I think he learned some administrative type things from Saban, but I think his coaching personality is much more Pete Carroll than it is Nick Saban. And with today, the modern kid, I think that's more attractive.
Got a fourth down here.
And second, love Ed from Macomb. He is awesome. He has the best takes of the week.
He's very passionate.
So, yeah, exactly. So thanks, guys.
Thank you for the call. All right, so here we have a moment here. If you're Arkansas, it's a 4-minute game. Oh, he didn't get it, Chase. He didn't get it. Oh, wow, what a play by the Hogs. 4:39 to go. State's got 2 timeouts. This now officially gets interesting. Arkansas has not won an SEC game since October 2017 in Oxford.
The day we saw Jeff Long come out of the press box.
Yeah, he was pissed.
Yeah, he needed a loss.
He needed a loss. It's been 20 games. 20 straight SEC losses.
So what'd you think of the Old Elk?
I meant to ask you, what'd you think?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's been a while now.
Too late.
I'm 3 in, so I'm not sure. I like it.
It's 113 proof.
Yeah, it's got some pop to it. It's got some burn to it.
And it's 6 years, which 6 starts to get into an area where you can have a little bit of complexity. It starts being okay. You don't just taste the youngness.
Yeah.
But even at 6, when you get up in that 113, 6 is still kind of harsh at times. And it's got a little harshness to it.
So that barrel that we got a week ago,
yeah.
Again, our thanks to Neal Forbes for providing the vodka of the week. I like that barrel has grown on me over the week.
Got to be neat. The ice just killed it.
See, I kind of liked it.
The ice turned it into a bad 90 proof. It took all the finish away, and it took away that because that had a lot of, and I know I sound like an idiot, but like it had, the nose had a lot of like tobacco and cigar and kind of taste, like kind of smell and taste to it, and it just washes it out because once you water it down, it just loses whatever was kind of on the front end.
Our thanks to Jen Deuce and also Marco. People are like, "What's wrong with you?" Just watching the game. Hey, who do we have?
I like it.
Hey, it's Kelly.
Hey, what's up?
Am I on?
Yeah,
you're on.
Turn your device down.
Yeah, let me turn it down. Sorry, guys. What's up, fellas?
Hey,
I'm here in Lexington around a bunch of UK fans. It's been a good day.
I bet it has. What was the atmosphere like? Did you go to the game?
Yeah, I went to the game. It seemed fuller than it probably looked on TV, to be honest with you. I was down near the goal line on the Ole Miss sideline, and we had people around. The band was behind us. It was a good atmosphere, to be honest with you. Great weather. Great day for football, to be honest with you. Great day for Ole Miss win.
It looked like the weather was absolutely fantastic for a football game.
It was right about 65 around game time. The sun was out. Y'all probably didn't catch it in the game, but I think it was affecting the receivers. It was really beaming in towards whatever end zone I was near. I don't know, south or what.
Yeah, you couldn't tell on TV that kind of thing. It wasn't readily available.
It was the sun. It was a factor. It was hard to see where I was. I pretty much watched out the game from the projectors they got on there. You just couldn't see it. It was right in our eyes.
Arkansas looking at a 3rd and inches here. You get a first down here, and it gets really interesting because you can start burning the timeouts. We're watching Arkansas, Mississippi State, in case you wondered. Arkansas leads 21-14, 3:55 to go in the contest.
Yeah, I had State and Auburn and some teasers just absolutely killed it. Like, I can shit the bed so bad, but whatever.
Well, hey, I'm glad you enjoyed your day. Thanks for the call.
Hey, y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Go Reds.
You get it? Nope.
It's interesting. They're saying the call quality is not good.
It's their connections.
And I think I also think it's this hour. People have had a few, and they're muffling their words a little. Yeah, I do. I think that's part of it. Got to get this one. Yeah, we don't want an overtime game. Just somebody win it.
Are they going? Oh, a 3rd down.
3rd down. Like, you wonder if they have. This used to drive me crazy about the Hugh Freeze offenses. To be 3rd and inches and they'd be in the shotgun. You're like, what are you doing? Just get under center and get it.
The A&M day. Ooh. The maddest the Rebel Crow message board has ever been.
Here we go. I hate this. I hate it. It is the worst play in football. When that happens, you deserve to lose. So Arkansas will have to punt 3:18 and counting. They can take the clock under the 3-minute mark. Mississippi State, though, has still 2 timeouts, and they can get the football. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Pretty nice kick. Oh, and he fumbled. Oh, my God. He fumbled. Arkansas got it back. Wow. We're sitting here talking, how big of a loss would this be for Mississippi State? It negates the LSU win, right?
It does that, yeah. You're back at square one there. I'm just kind of seeing how. I was just turning Jay on to see how that was going.
Not well.
Not well, no.
Since y'all are still in the air, we're like, yeah, we're not really sure why. What time did we sign on at 1?
1.
1. Yeah, we're going on.
Almost 9 hours. It went exactly 9 last week.
Yeah.
On the dot. Which is pretty much what it's going to do here.
Yeah, people say I'm happy for Arkansas. I mean, look, I'm happy for my kid. I mean, it's funny because she's watching the game. They haven't won a game yet. If you're State, you got to take your timeouts right now, right?
Oh, look, a Henry.
Hey, you said it, not me. I didn't go there. 2:05 to go. Yeah, we got calls. I'm sorry. I had the wrong screen up. I mean, they've got no offense.
State has 2 timeouts left. So State's going to get it back, assuming they stop them on the next play, with 1:35 left.
Yeah, I know people want me to take calls. If you could see this computer, you would be like, oh my God, what has happened? It's crazy, man. Like, I'm going to get you to look at it when I reboot it. It's just, Skype has disappeared, so I don't know what the deal is, honestly.
I don't know that we have a necessarily number we're shooting for on the YouTube stuff. I have podcast numbers I like to hit, but I don't necessarily have them for this.
Yeah. Okay, I've got Skype coming back up now.
Oklahoma and Iowa State tied in the fourth quarter.
Skype's back up now. It's just bizarre. Really, it's weird. I would love to know if I did something or if it just went bonkers.
Yeah.
I think the computer just went bonkers.
Which worries me a little, but
it worries me too. Oh, wow.
And he stayed in.
Wow, that was a big time throw by Felipe Franks.
Math.
Yeah, 137 and
basically
counting.
It.
State's got 2 timeouts, but that's a hell of a play. And so smart to get down.
A winning play for a team that doesn't know how to win.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't State can't stop it now.
Why are you taking a knee in the shotgun?
I don't know.
I mean, come on.
The teams that are so reliant on the shotgun, it blows me away. $1:34 to go, and State can't stop it again after this. It's a big loss for Mississippi State. It totally negates last week. They're showing the highlight of the last time they won, which was at Ole Miss in that crazy Matt Luke game where Matt Luke came in, looked like he'd been in tears. Because I think, remember that was the day.
They had the huge lead.
That was the day Matt Luke felt like he had lost any chance at the job. And a big win for Arkansas. No way around it. Have lost 20 straight SEC games going into tonight. To come in and beat Mississippi State in Starkville is a big win. Thanks to Sam Hearn for the gift. Who was the penalty on? Sam needs to get in a spin class. Or 20.
You're harder on Sam than you are on Bird or any other ones.
I don't know if the bars are open in Fayetteville or not. They're a little harder in Fayetteville about being able to get in than they are here, if I'm being honest. I think it's a little more difficult to get in the bars there. So now the clock doesn't run. It's still... Oh, wow. That was a bad penalty.
Oh, really? So why?
I don't know. I guess because of a penalty. Sam Pittman's implying that the clock should be running. Oh, no, he's jumping Woods for that penalty. It was a bad penalty.
Well, now a really bad penalty. I mean, they only get this thing down to 40 instead of running it all the way out.
Proof there's no bigger zealot than a convert with the fat jokes. I was never that big. So they're going to have to punt it.
Yeah.
We still have 341 people with us. That's great.
Just hanging on to the end.
Just hanging on to the end, watching with us. Yeah, I won't repeat exactly how Doors Rules said it, but he's right. They don't know how to win. When you haven't won in 3 years, you don't know how. SIPREB says SIPREB card, will we do this next year? Yeah, probably. I suspect this is going to become a thing. It appears to be successful. Yeah, it was smart. One minute to go in Starkville. The clock ticking. They can take it down to about 35 seconds before they punt. And State will have the football, but no timeouts. The family text is full of woo pigs from Campbell. 32 seconds left. Who are you taking for season total wins now, State or Ole Miss, based on what you've seen? Who wins more games, Mississippi State or Ole Miss? I know what I say.
Who's State got in the East?
Ooh, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't have their schedule.
I need that before. I mean, Kentucky, obviously, because they always do. Who's the other ones?
I don't know. Who does State have in the East? Anybody help us in the thread? Who are State's Eastern opponents? Thank you, Denver. It's very nice of you to say. I don't know who State plays on. Pretty big punt for this kid. Fair caught it. Is that the 12?
I'd have been tempted to try to take off and see if you could have done something with it.
on Campbell to see if she's watching the end of this. We'll have a little fun with her.
Hello?
Are you watching your school?
Oh, yes.
What do you think? You going to pull it off? 16 seconds to go? 14 seconds?
Yes, we're going to pull it off.
What's the mood in Fayetteville with the potential big win? First one in 3 years for the Hogs.
I'm at one of my friend's older sister's house who works for the football team, and everyone's screaming and cheering. It's so much fun.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Do you know the name of the Arkansas quarterback yet?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, you're down to 8 seconds. Did you watch any of Ole Miss and Kentucky today?
Well, we're behind. We're at 23 seconds.
Oh, you're way behind.
Yeah, our TV's a little behind.
Your TV's a lot behind.
Yeah, we're at 14 now.
Okay. Well, I don't want to ruin it for you, but you had a good week in picks, Campbell. All your research really paid off.
Oh, well, yeah, I haven't done much research. It's really opinion-based.
All right, there's 4 seconds left, Campbell. Arkansas just has to make one stop. One stop, and you're going to win an SEC game. The streak is about to come to an end.
We're at 12 seconds now.
Yeah.
You're behind, but it's okay.
Yeah, trust me, I wouldn't lie to you. So Arkansas has the ball, and I'm sorry, Mississippi State has the ball at their own 27. They have to go 73 yards in one play. They have 4 seconds.
People are crying.
We're doing the hook and ladder stuff.
Time has run out. Congratulations, Campbell. You finally have won a football game in college, an SEC game.
Thank you.
All right, you want to give us one woo pig?
Yeah, am I like?
You're on.
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, you're on. Yeah, I should have told you you're being recorded.
Oh well, wait. Let's I'll put you on speaker when we win. We're 4
okay.
seconds away.
All right. Well, let's put us on speaker. We'll sell.
And you get to hear the reaction.
Okay.
And keep in mind, 4 seconds. There's a girl that her younger brother's bumper pool in here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm with her. So I'm
Okay.
going to put it on speaker when we win. Hold on.
All right.
Where are you calling? I'm on my dad's podcast. Wait.
It's been a minute. They deserve it. Come on. All right.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Go enjoy yourself. Have fun. Don't drive and don't drink and drive. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I say give them that one.
Yeah,
right?
come on. Yeah, it's been a minute. All right, so that was fun. That's a perfect way to end the night. We've been with you guys for 9 hours. Thank you for being with us. Still sitting here at what, 343 people right now. It's incredible. So that's a lot of fun. Congratulations to the Rebels. That's great stuff to win today. 42-41?
42-41.
42-41. Ole Miss beats Kentucky today in Lexington. The Rebels 1-1. Huge win for Lane Kiffin and his program. We'll try to figure out what the hell happened to the computer here. We're a little concerned about it, but we'll get there. And Mississippi State loses to Arkansas, so we'll stop there. I guess that's the rest of the games. LSU blew out Vanderbilt. Auburn getting blown out by Georgia. So a full day in the SEC. Ole Miss and Alabama next week at 5. Yep. 5 p.m. So we'll sign on at 3 p.m. And
see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. It'll be a hell of a day. I don't know that we go 9 hours would be midnight.
Yeah,
it's possible. We'll see how the game looks. Anyway, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you had fun. We did too. And we'll be back with another edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast on Monday. Until then, for Chase Parham, I'm Neal McCready. You guys take care.